One of Jon and Jim Friday edition. We do have Howl O Scream tickets to give away today. We'll do that during Trainwreck Radio. We will get you ready for homecoming with Paul Garrison from the East Village Times at 4 p.m. And we will talk about Week 8 in the NFL with Cynthia Freeland coming up at 5 p.m. Of course, we'll get you ready for this Evil Empire World Series, really on both sides, coming up as well. But before we start with anything, last night was a ton of fun. Mesa Foundation event. We were downtown. Our wives were out. Good food, good company, good drinks, lots of money raised for San Diego State men's basketball. Overall, I thought we did a pretty good job. I mean, we weren't responsible.
We
really
didn't do anything, actually.
But I thought we did a good job considering we didn't have to do anything.
Yeah, we did a good job eating food.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it. Drinking from the open bar.
Right. It was fun.
Yeah, we didn't do much.
No, we just enjoyed it.
Great appetizers. Did you have any of the ahi tartare?
Listen to you.
With the little wonton crisp on top?
No.
Any of the?
I didn't have any appetizers.
Did you have any drinks?
I did. I had a Nova kombucha.
Of course you did. Very on brand.
Aztec raspberry.
Very, very on brand.
You had some drinks. Aaron had some drinks.
I had what they called the Dutcher.
Is that right?
Yeah, they had a drink special drink called the Dutcher. Yeah. We talked to Coach Fisher there.
We did.
Introduce Aaron to Coach Fisher and JD Wicker. So that was nice.
Yeah.
A couple other people.
Did JD make fun of you?
Absolutely, he did.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. He said, sorry, we didn't put you in the front row to ruin everything. But
right. So we could see the back of your head.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But anyway, no, it was a fun event. Really fun event. I thought the way that it was put on by the Mesa Foundation was cool. It was very interactive. They had Aztec players all sitting at different tables, so we got to, interact with multiple different Aztec players, which is really cool. And trivia game they had, and there were some cool moments, like announcements they had. So it was the auction. So yeah, it was really fun.
Very cool event. And again, San Diego State basketball, you can hear it beginning in 12 days right here on San Diego Sports 760 against UCSD back at Viejas Arena. I was going to discuss how you can consume the show via podcast, but I don't even think there's anything to make of it because I think you can still do it the old way right now. Is it worth discussing, Jim? I'll leave that to you. Seriously. Is it worth discussing for our listeners? How to listen to us?
If you are having any issues with our podcast,
okay,
just right now, if you go to our website, sportssd.com, and you go to the top left corner, there's 3 little white bars, tab down to podcast, Jon and Jim. You can find it there. Or I put it on social media. Go to our Twitter page.
Okay.
At Jon and Jim. There's a link to our podcast. On Instagram, there's a link to our podcast at Jon and Jim as well. If you're one of those Apple Podcast users.
That's me.
Probably going to have to wait a little bit.
Oh, great. Yeah.
Because there's this thing called the RSS feed, which is a little difficult to explain. But if you can't do any of that, if that's all confusing for you, the easiest way to consume our content is just listen to our show in real time, or you can follow us on YouTube. We broadcast every show on YouTube. Jon and Jim SD on, or what are we on YouTube? What are we on YouTube?
Just search for Jon and Jim 760.
Yeah, it's Jon and Jim 760 on YouTube, and we are there. Subscribe to our channel. You can watch our show and listen to our show there as well.
All right, so there's some Padres news we'll get to. Kevin Acey's been writing about the start of the offseason, but of course you kind of have to start with what, where we are, which is game 1 of the World Series. Like, it's going to be hard to ignore, despite the fact that of all markets in the country, like I'm trying to think of all the markets where this is like the least desirable matchup, this is basically it. Because San Diego, you trade away Juan Soto. We've talked about this. You justify, Juan Soto was the reason why we didn't win in 2023, and look, we win in 2024, but now all of a sudden Juan Soto's in the World Series. Okay. And then the other side of it is your true rival. They may not see it the same way, but, to Padres fans, obviously the Dodgers have become a true rival down here, and your rival beats you in the postseason, gets to the World Series. So, the Yankees have always been the evil empire. The Dodgers are the evil empire in San Diego, and that's the matchup. And we talked about it maybe Monday, maybe late last week. You just have to root for the Yankees, and you're going to have to rationalize that, and we can deal with Juan Soto winning a World Series. We can't deal with the alternate of that, which is the Dodgers winning the World Series. I don't know what I'm going to say if the Dodgers win the World Series. I haven't allowed my brain to wrap my mind around that possibility, but of course it's a distinct possibility. So here we are. It's Dodgers, Yankees. Go Yankees, I guess. That's not I guess. Go Yankees is where I am, and just pray that they win the World Series, and we don't have to deal with an offseason of the Dodgers having won the World Series.
I think the hardest fan bases this World Series is for Padres fans. I think Giants fans, because it's the Dodgers. Anytime the Dodgers in the World Series, it's like they can't win it.
Red Sox fans
and Red Sox fans.
But only one has the dual dynamic of both teams.
Two have the dual dynamic. Red Sox fans with the Mookie, because they still are. I mean, if I was a Red Sox fan, I wouldn't be over that Mookie trade. I'd be still pissed about it. How it kind of changed the entire trajectory of the Red Sox franchise.
Give you that. But again, that just feels more distant to me. Maybe it's not a Red Sox fan. It's been years.
But it's been years, but you're still pissed because he's still there.
Yeah.
You know, if Juan Soto after this season leaves the Yankees, then, you know, you're not sitting there as a Padres fan being like, Juan Soto and the Yankees. We traded him to the Yankees. Like, well, he left the Yankees and then went sign somewhere else. So it's kind of like over with, in my opinion. But right now, Padres fans, Red Sox fans, and Giants fans, anybody else who hates the Dodgers or the Yankees, you know, this is a World Series that is like, if you can't pick a side, that's the tough part. If you can't pick a side, it's a little difficult. But for me, it's a no-brainer. Go Yankees all the way. Like that is what I'm rooting for. I will watch. I think this is a obviously very compelling World Series. You have the two best teams in the World Series. Like, you know, we always talk about in sports, you want to see the two best play. And now the two best are playing. It's just hard to rationalize it because the two best that are playing are around the sport the most hated teams and hated franchises.
You know, what you're saying is accurate, but like, I don't want to see. I think a lot of people feel this way. A lot of people want to see the best play the best to win a title.
Yeah.
I don't, because I could have easily argued if surely the best is the most regular season wins, then okay. But I don't even buy into that, because in Major League Baseball, someone plays the White Sox 15 times and someone else plays them 3 times. So a sheer win total isn't a reason why the Guardians are better than the Padres. I'm making it up, for example. So yeah, the Dodgers won more games than the Padres. So that on its face means they're better. Padres beat them in the regular season. So, and then the Padres had a 2-1 lead. As in, if the Padres had beat the Dodgers, who were quote unquote the best team in the National League, but that to me does, like, I don't care that the best team in the National League isn't in the World Series.
No, I don't care either, but I'm just saying these are the two best teams in baseball. Would you agree with that?
I mean, because they're in the World Series, would you have said last year they're just the best teams because they're the best teams? No, I wouldn't agree with that. I would not. Now, it's hard for me to it's crying over spilled milk. I don't think the Dodgers are. This is crying over spilled milk, and I'm going to get reactions to this. I don't think the Dodgers are better than the Padres. I just think they beat them in that 5-game series.
Okay.
It's just like, do you think the Padres in 2022 were better than the Dodgers? They just beat them in that series.
Right.
So that's my point. I get it sounds a little fabricated in real time, but that is my true point.
Well, look, I'm not going to go down the path of saying that the Padres were the better team, because they weren't. They lost. They choked.
But would you go down the path that the Padres are the better team than the Dodgers in 2022 because they beat them?
No, but the Padres were also an 89-win team that year, and the Dodgers were a 100-plus win team. Mm-hmm. This year, the Padres won 93 games, and the Dodgers won 98.
That's
much closer.
That's my point.
I know, but still, this year, the Dodgers are the better team.
Because of what they did in the postseason, right? Not just the 98
and the regular season.
Okay.
Overall.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to fight it vigorously, but you get my point. I think there's times that we've said this before. Things play out in the postseason. That doesn't mean those are the best teams.
Right. No, you're right.
We made that point a lot.
This is also one of the rare times you get both one seeds in the American League and the National League face off in the World Series. When's the last time that happened?
I have no idea.
It's been a long time.
We haven't even had seeds that long, but yeah.
Like the best team in the American League against the best team in the National League.
But they're not definitive. This goes back to the Passan tweet from a month ago. All these teams are the same. Are the Dodgers definitively better than the Phillies? They just happen to be here. They play better late. Mm-hmm. They were like a game better than the Phillies.
But if you're looking at record-wise, like just pure record, like, okay, my argument is better. But if you're, but your point of like, you have to like break down every single player on the team.
I guess my point is, you're right. If it was the 110-win Dodger team roughly of 2022 against a 110-win Yankee team, I buy it. If these are two 110-win teams, then I'm not going to argue your point. But I'm saying I thought both leagues were wide open.
Yeah, so it's wide. It's
and there was wide variance. The Dodgers beat the Padres fair and square. I'm not saying they didn't. I'm just saying I don't think them just winning a 5-game series definitively means they were the best team. That might sound stupid. I think Dodgers have made that same argument in 2021, 2022, and 2023 when they had good records in the regular season, then lost in the postseason.
All right, moving past the discussion of if they're the best team or not. I think it's the two best teams in baseball that are in the World Series.
Just the two most talked about teams.
Okay. But from who do you think is going to win this series? I think it could be very close. Like I think you have a World Series matchup that I can't remember the last time they had this many Hall of Famers in a World Series matchup on both teams. Can you?
I mean, you're talking about definitively how many right now? At least 5 or 6, 7, if you're including Kershaw.
Yeah, combined on both teams. Yeah, it's a lot.
Right, with the Betts, Freeman, Ohtani, Judge, Soto, Kershaw not pitching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a huge number.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I don't know how the pitching
Cole. Yep.
You could, if you want to put.
That's a good point.
If you want to put in Stanton, because he's won an MVP and he's getting close to 500 home runs.
Is he?
Yes.
Okay,
yeah. He's like 426 or something.
No, your points. That's a good point. I mean, that's 7 or 8 guys.
That's a lot of players. Where at the end of the day, if this thing goes 6 or 7,
it's a big number.
I think what can be considered a classic World Series. Now, I hope that the Yankees come out on top because, like you said, I'm not prepared either for a potential.
I got no lines planned.
Dodger celebration that we have to watch.
Yeah, I don't have anything planned. Like, I don't know how I would sell it, quote unquote, on the air. I don't know what I would say. I have no idea. If the day after, if that happens, if the Dodgers win the World Series and the day after we're on Jon and Jim, because it happens on whatever, a Monday, and then we're on the air on a Tuesday or whatever, or even if you have the weekend to think about it, I have no idea what I would say. I really don't.
Because after the Padres series, it was a lot of, you know what?
Yeah, maybe they'll lose.
Well, no, I was going to say, everyone around here has got to wear it for a little while. Like, and by a little while, I mean at least a year. You got to wear it.
Do you wear it for at least a year if they then lose to who they just play in the championship series?
The Mets.
Do you wear it the same way if the Mets then beat the Dodgers in 6? I don't think so. It's just then it's the same bragging right.
But it's the same thing as it was in
2022.
Yeah. Padres beat the Dodgers. Yeah. Padres went on and lost to the Phillies.
Yep.
And for ever since then, really, it's been Padres have won a postseason series more recently than the Dodgers. And
true, but
that was 2 years.
But it's not the
World Series could last longer.
That's what I'm saying.
World Series would be like, you can't use the 2020 Mickey Mouse World Series anymore. You can't use we've won a postseason series more recently than you know, all that stuff. Like, it would truly be worst case scenario for Padres fans seeing the Dodgers win the World Series and just having to wear it. There's nothing else to do.
Is anyone not watching because they just hate the idea of this? Yankees Dodgers, because there are no wins in here. 877-767-4760 or 70470. Start it with team. The Padres have some moves to make this offseason, including potentially with someone that's already on the roster. Will he be switching positions or not? Plus, we have a 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld's Howlow Scream to give away. It's Jon and Jim. All right, this is pretty cool for Aztec basketball fans. We do have tickets for the exhibition game at Viejas Arena, which is next Wednesday. It's October 30th next Wednesday? I think it is. Okay. So next Wednesday, we have tickets for San Diego State San Marcos at Viejas Arena. Two pairs. Two pairs. Okay, we'll give one away then this hour. We're going to give away a pair of tickets to San Diego State San Marcos Viejas Arena exhibition game. The real season gets underway November 6th, but good opportunity to see this new look San Diego State team. We'll give away those tickets coming up this hour. Now, Kevin Acee has written 2 lengthy pieces since the end of the Padres-Dodgers series. Disappointing series that ended 2 weeks ago today. 2 weeks ago tonight. It was damn disappointing, okay?
Yeah. It's only been 2 weeks?
It's only been 2 weeks. I was in Laramie, and that was San Diego State has played just one time since then, and I was in Laramie.
Ugh.
So that was 2 weeks ago tonight. Now, I am glad that Kevin went with this angle because we heard Preller say it Monday. He said, we're going to win a World Series responsibly, which is code word for we aren't going to spend the way we spent in 2022 under Peter Seidler.
Right.
So in this article, which is a really good read if you're a Padres fan, and I would suggest because it's lengthy and covers multiple topics, it talks about the ways in which they can potentially try to, win in 2025. He actually made your point, Jim, which is, listen to this. His point was what they did a year ago, you could argue was easier than what he's tasked with doing now, because 1 year ago, it was one fell swoop, saved $36 million with the Soto deal. Grisham and Soto equals 36. You get it back, right?
Mm-hmm.
This year, there's no $36 million saving. Now, maybe they don't need to save that much money. But with the arbitration-eligible players, as that number goes up, if they don't want to go over the CBT, it's going to be more of a jigsaw puzzle than just trade Juan Soto.
Yeah. Could have said it any better myself.
I know.
Oh, wait, I did say that.
Right.
It is, in my mind, going to be incredibly difficult this offseason to make the moves necessary with not a lot of resources. He also mentioned in there that they're looking to get 2 starting pitchers.
Yes.
To pair with Cease, King, Darvish, and Randy Vasquez.
Correct.
And they don't really know yet if they can trust or rely on like Matt Waldron for a full season again. Matt Waldron had great stretches last year, but you saw like when you're a knuckleball pitcher and you lose your knuckleball, it's over. Like, can't really rely on that guy. So to pick up 2 pitchers, another catcher, a left fielder, infield help, like DH, first base maybe, bullpen help, dude. That's a lot with not a Juan Soto to trade away to get that in one fall swoop and not a lot of money to go out and spend in free agency.
Yeah, and I could not have said that better myself. I think the big question, the huge, massive question that I think we can answer, although I don't think Padres fans fully agree with this sentiment, I think there's a lot of people that will sell this idea. They've reset themselves by staying under the luxury tax number in 2024. Therefore, they'll go over it in 2025. I disagree. I don't think they'll go over the CBT number in 2025 because I don't think that that's quote unquote responsible. I think the code word in there from Preller is we're going to win responsibly. Responsible to me means we're going to spend, we'll be a top half spender. But when we get to that CBT number, we talked about it this week, maybe 240-ish. Maybe 240-ish. There's a big number in average annual valuations. Once they get up to that number, that's when they got to get creative. That's what I think he's saying when he says we need to win responsibly.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't think they're going to be changing their philosophy like a ton, but I do think that they're going to have to continue with what they did this past year, which is they didn't go out and make any big free agent signings. They had to make some creative trades, and they had to find diamonds in the rough, and hopefully they hit. Like that's what they did this past season. Now, the trades they made, they traded one of the best players in baseball, and they traded for Dylan Cease and Luis Ariz using a lot of their prospects, a lot of top prospects, and then at the trade deadline for 2 really, really good relievers in the back end of your bullpen, they just traded the rest of their top prospects.
Right.
So, I mean, you're not trading DeVries and you're not trading Salas.
No.
And you've traded damn near everybody else. how are you going to make these trades this offseason to get the pieces that you need? How are you going to get 2 more starting pitchers? How are you going to get maybe another back-end bullpen piece? How are you going to replace left field, catcher, first base, maybe DH?
He said, yeah, I mean, he said some really fascinating things in here that I don't think have been widely discussed by Padres fans today, maybe with it being game 1 of the World Series. But he went down the same path on Luis Ariz that he went with us on the radio about 10 days ago, or whatever that was, maybe last Friday, which is that there is no guarantee, and like anything, I guess, when you enter a baseball offseason, but he essentially said there's no guarantee Luis Ariz will be back. And he also said that what makes the multi-year deal advantageous is it lowers the average annual valuation. His arbitration number for next year could be $15 million. He said with us a week ago today, he didn't believe the Padres had an appetite to pay Luis Ariz $15 million a year. So don't all of a sudden be shocked when Luis Ariz isn't here in 2025, because Kevin told us a week ago they don't want to pay him $15 million a year, which means if they can't come to terms on a 4 or 5 year deal where he's going to take maybe below market value to do it, he's going to take 9 or 10 a year to do it. I don't know if that's outside the realm. I think if you're considering the possibility of Cease getting moved or Ariz getting moved or King getting moved, to me, it starts with Luis Ariz. Unfortunately, nobody wants to move him. If you could just have everyone, I'd say bring them all back, but that's not how professional sports works.
Yeah, I hate that strategy.
I agree with you.
I hate it because if you can't make $15 million for a player work, that's a problem.
Well, the problem is they have made $15 million work with too many players.
Yeah, I know, but not the right players.
Yeah, true.
Luis Ariz, while you might in the like pecking order of things or whatever, 15 million might be too much for him if you're looking at what he should get. But I mean, come on, man.
I get it.
If Jake Cronenworth is going to make 11 or 12 million per year, Luis Ariz is a better player than Jake Cronenworth, and you're afraid to give him 15 or 14.
No, it's a really good point. There's more in this that we can discuss on the other side. Also, the future of Xander Bogaerts. What position is it at, and what is the long-term future for Xander Bogaerts in terms of where he's going to play as a San Diego Padre? We'll discuss on the other side. Plus, we're giving away tickets for San Diego State against San Marcos in an exhibition game next Wednesday at Viejas Arena. We'll do that coming up next on Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim. We've been telling you about our friends over at Jamul Casino for quite some time, and this is a great weekend to get out there with the World Series now underway, college football, NFL, and then every Monday night in October, if you love great promotions, Jamul has them for you around Monday Night Football out at Jamul.
Yeah, Monday nights with 10 winners every hour at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. They're Onyx players. They're going to receive an extra $100 in cash bonuses on top of their winnings. Plus, you can earn entries all month long by playing and getting 2-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 in cash.
If you are going out there this weekend, make sure to swing by Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. You're going to love it. You can watch the World Series there, NFL and college football. They have amazing food and drinks. You'll love the Tony Gwynn memorabilia as well. Jamul also has 5 nights a week, endless dining. Truly incredible. Saturdays, so tomorrow, take in some World Series action, college football, Saturday surf and turf buffet going on at Jamul Casino.
Yeah, get to Jamul Casino today. Experience Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. Also, brand new Emerald Chinese cuisine. Great place to watch a game. Great place to eat. Jamul Casino. It's fun above all else. All right, this update is brought to you by the Southern California Partnership for Jobs. Tonight, World Series Game 1, first pitch 5:08, Dodgers and Yankees from Dodger Stadium. Garrett Cole on the mound for the Yankees against Jack Flaherty for the Dodgers. Tomorrow night is homecoming night as the Aztecs 5:30 pregame right here on San Diego Sports 760. And tonight is the Sean Lewis Coaches Show with Sean Lewis, John, and Rich tonight at 6 p.m. And right after the Coaches Show, we have Lakers basketball, 7 p.m. as the Lakers take on the Phoenix Suns. I think traffic's getting worse. You're right. We waste 30% more time in traffic today. Vote yes on G. Fix streets and speed up commutes. Let's get home faster. Let's go San Diego. Vote yes on G. Paid for by Southern California Partnership for Jobs.
And if you missed our 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival, you can now watch the best moments exclusively on Hulu. See the biggest festival headliners from around the world assembled on one stage, one show. Keith Urban, New Kids on the Block, Black Rose, and more. This is the only time to see a lot of superstar performers like this on one stage, Jim. See it all at 2024 iHeartRadio Music Festival streaming only on Hulu. I did not get a call from corporate saying they liked my idea of taking all the great sports talk shows and putting them on the stage. Like getting the guys in Minneapolis together with the guys in Milwaukee and San Diego.
Just shout over each other.
Yeah, good content. Like, hey, let's talk about Giannis' future. Let's get Jim Russell from San Diego Sports 760. This guy from Milwaukee 670. We can duke it out on stage. You like this idea more? Concerts. Sports content.
It's no worse than your theme park idea.
I'm not going there. What's the better idea?
If I do, then I'll get in trouble.
What's the better idea? My sports talk Comic-Con or the amusement park where the rides are based on the teams. And if you ever missed it, it's like if there's a Bucks ride and maybe you have like a weapon. Now it's not a real weapon, but it was like an arcade game and you can give you like an arcade weapon and you go on it. And then maybe there's a pacer ride and you're like running. Because pacers are like, what are pacers?
It's a pace car, John.
It's okay. So now you go in a car. You have a race car ride.
And he makes fun of you for not knowing every college mascot known to
What is
man.
happening right now?
Do you think it's a bad idea?
What are we talking about?
My theme
It's not a
park
good idea.
It's not a good idea. You're right, Brent.
It's an idea, though.
I'll
give you that.
You have an idea. Maybe you're spending too much time with Jones lately. I know he's your son, but
yeah, I'm probably not. Like Orlando Magic. It'd be like a magic ride. Anyway, I guarantee in our lifetime this is going to come and I'm going to get 0%.
What about the New York Knicks, huh?
You don't have to have every team.
But the New York Knicks are like the New York Knicks.
No, I understand who they are. Like the Niners ride would be like, you're going to look for gold.
Or you're going to
look for a Super Bowl trophy.
Or it could just be guys getting hauled off in the cart to the ambulance.
You just flip coins. It's a coin ride. They give you a coin. Whatever side it lands on, you lost.
I hate you. I hate you.
You really do.
Oh, man.
All right.
They explain how overtime rules work.
For 20 minutes straight.
We're going to give away San Diego State San Marcos exhibition game tickets this hour. This is Wednesday night at Viejas Arena. We have a pair of tickets. Be listening for a chance to win. So, okay, is Xander Bogaerts playing shortstop in 2025 or second base? Kevin AC writing today that Bogaerts will likely be asked to return to short with the hope. Listen to this. With the hope that Leo DeVries, one of their top position prospects, if not their top, will be the starting shortstop for the Padres in 2026. The problem with that is Leo DeVries to start 2026, I think would be a 19-year-old, which just inherently isn't easy. I mean, again, we saw Merrill. It's awesome. But to give Leo DeVries like the reins as a 19-year-old in 2026 would be arguably very aggressive. Maybe not arguably.
Would you say one of the hardest positions to play on the diamond is shortstop?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He's 18 now. So
night.
He'd be 20.
Okay.
He'd be 20.
He'd be like a Jackson Merrill.
Yeah. Younger. He'd be about 6 months younger than Merrill.
Even if Merrill came up as a shortstop, I don't think he would have produced like he did this year. I think the position that Merrill got moved to, center field, I think actually helped him for the entire season. Because now center field's not easy, definitely not easy, because you got the routes you make and the positioning, right? You can get a lot of help from that. And if you're a really good athlete, it makes things easier. But I think by him going out to center field, his brain didn't have to go at 1,000,000 miles an hour every single at bat.
Mm-hmm.
The Leo DeVries conversation is an interesting one. I'm more interested in the 2025 shortstop conversation. That if you move Xander to shortstop, then what the hell was the point of him going to second base this past year? Like, what was the point? If you knew that you weren't going to get Kim back, and even if Kim had a good year, you had to have known that he's going to opt out anyway. Like, it just didn't make any sense to me if you don't have a long-term solution at short, which is the solution. But the move to second base at the time, I liked it because it felt like the best move for the team going forward. But then you're yo-yoing him back to short for the 2025 season. What was the point?
That's a very good point. I also want to make this point. It's not to discount the Breeze. If I would have told you about Merrill's numbers in advanced day last year, they were very disappointing. He turned on the second half of the double. I think the Breeze has, when you watch him, it feels like he has it. I could be wrong. But it just he looks like he got something there. He hit 238.
I know.
Last year.
I know.
So I'm just like, before we put him on the 162 games short in 2026 pass, maybe we want to see him play above low A ball. And at 238, but Johnny hit 11 home runs. He hit 11 home runs. Ball travel. So it was a good number. He put 70, 80 games. And an 800 OPS, which for a 238 hitter is good, but he also was in the alley. My point is, how could you be anywhere near sure that Leo DeVries is anywhere near the big leagues in 2026? It's possible. But it's also possible that you've got a shortstop question in 2026, just like you have a shortstop question in 2025. And you paid Bogaerts all of this money. Remember the introductory press conference? I'm a shortstop. And then he. Did you ask the question? Okay. Yeah, I just heard the answer. But then you put him at second base. You can kind of tell he wasn't really thrilled about it, but he was doing it for the betterment of the team. The betterment of the team didn't, I feel like, fully work out because Hassan Kim wasn't a defensive star at shortstop like he was a defensive star at second base the previous season. And then the injury to Hassan Kim kind of backfired. Moved to second, he had to put him back. So, kind of in hindsight, it looks kind of silly now, the whole conversation about him moving to second, and that's his now new position, and then you're going to put him back at shortstop in 2025, and you're going to go back at shortstop at the end of this year because of injury. And also, by the way, I see this in our chat right now. This team, to me, does not have 10 shortstops that they can just plug and play whenever they want. Are they really going to think about moving Tatis back to short? No. Are they really going to think about moving Jackson Merrill back to short? No. Why did Preller bring it up, or was he asked that, hey, you have a lot of guys that have played short on your roster like Merrill and Tatis, would you consider it? And he was just answering the question. Mm-hmm. I think that's what he was doing. I mean, with the Padres, you never say never because they are unconventional. If nothing else, AJ Preller is uber unconventional, and I would never rule it out. It would be honestly fascinating. It would be fascinating. Remember, the big move this year was Xander's going to second. That was day one of spring training.
Yep.
I'd be fascinated, not necessarily in a bad way, if they told me day one of spring training, if the big talking point became, you know what? We talked to Tatis. He's done what we've asked of him. He wants to play short. We have a shortstop vacancy. We're going to use him at short. I'd be like, oh, wow. A guy that won a platinum glove, that has produced and played really good defense and stayed, I say healthy, but he actually has him. You're going to move him to short? Like, that to me would be fascinating, but I can't put that past the Padres or Merrill.
Dude, my brain can't even wrap around the conversation of Tatis goes back to short.
What about Merrill?
Same.
Okay.
I advocated all year long, mostly all year long, that moving Jackson Merrill up in the lineup, I was against. Mm-hmm. Just keep him where he's at. He's flourishing where he's at. Eventually, you'll move him up in the lineup, probably by as early as next season, which they might have to. And they did move him up towards the end of the year to the 5 spot behind Manny.
Yep.
But just keep him where he's at. Why move him? He was an all-star center fielder. He became, and I'm not joking here, and I'm not like just making it seem like it's more than it is. He became the best center fielder in the National League.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was right there.
So now you're going to move him back to short, not because like you want to, but because you have a need.
to.
That's the worst thing to do.
Right. No, that's a good point. All right, we'll give away these San Diego State tickets on the other side. Plus, remember a year ago, what was it? The Padres were done in by the That's What's In. Dumb. What do you even call that? Was it a theme song? Was
It's
it a
the
meme?
KUSI guys.
Okay. Is the same thing going to play out with the Dodgers?
I don't
this time
know,
around?
but these two girls released an absolute banger that you'll hear coming up next.
Cross your fingers that it'll have the same effect.
Maybe.
All right, we'll give away those San Diego State tickets for next Wednesday against San Marcos. Plus, you'll hear that on the other side. Plus, Paul Garrison from the East Village Times will join us to talk about San Diego State, Washington State, Saturday at Snapdragon Stadium. He'll join us at 4 p.m. This is Jon and Jim. Right, the Aztecs back at Snapdragon Saturday. Tomorrow, homecoming will take on Washington State. Pregame at 5:30. Me and Rich take over the call at 7:30. You're home for the Aztecs San Diego Sports 760. Sean Lewis Show. We'll get you ready for it coming up tonight at 6 p.m. Be listening in the next 8 minutes. We'll give away San Diego State tickets for Wednesday at Viejas Arena. San Diego State men's basketball exhibition game against San Marcos. 2024 season is here. We have 2 free tickets. We'll give them away in about 8 minutes or so. So be listening for your chance to win those tickets. I would never want to relive the KUSI song from a year ago from the Padres or 2 years ago.
Yeah, me neither.
So let's hear is this the Dodger version of it? I have not heard this.
It's not like it's just something that popped up on the timeline that I saw by John Boy retweeted it. And, this obviously happened a couple days ago. I don't even know how to describe it. Just 2 women outside Dodger Stadium. I don't even know who they are. But let's listen to this absolute banger by 2 Dodgers fans.
Okay.
Us in LA ripping on Stadium Way. True blue geared up from the floor up. Dodger players ready to tear it up. Yankees be ready to lose. The boys in blue winning the series, fool. LA, baby. That's right. Rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela.
What did we just listen to?
That was odd.
Actually, the funniest thing about it is that was like 23 seconds and they made like 5 edits to it.
Gotcha.
Because you can tell where they edited. It's like they literally said like 3 words sometimes and then they edited something else in.
Can you play that again? Play that again, Brent.
Us in LA ripping on Stadium Way. True blue geared up from the floor up. Dodger players ready to tear it up. Yankees be ready to lose. The boys in blue winning the series, fool. LA, baby. That's right. Rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela.
I think it's interesting to do like 4 or 5 of the cuts about like kind of like trash talking. We're going to win the World Series. And then it's like, oh, by the way, we're sorry about the passing of Fernando Valenzuela. Like they don't seem to go. It would
like
almost be 2 different tracks.
It's
almost like, there's like the trash talking track. And then there's the like tribute to Fernando.
The floor up.
LA, baby. That's
LA,
right.
baby.
Rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela.
Do you think people are going to use that the same way? Like if they lose, are they going to blame that?
I need that to be played inside of a Dodger Stadium after every like
loss,
half inning. Just play that song, or not even a song. It's just like it's not even a song. It's just I don't even know what to call it.
Do you think the Yankees are going to use that as like bulletin board material and play it in their clubhouse before they take the field?
Why do people?
No,
that should be Ohtani's walk-up music.
Here's the thing, dude. How many people are there in LA? A lot.
Millions.
How many people have phones everywhere? A lot.
Everybody.
Everyone's their own like content creator.
Yeah.
You're going to get that.
No, I'm just
Why are they doing it?
I'm just trying to put myself in these people's like heads.
right.
When they
you can't
have an idea like this and then they follow through with it. And like, do they sit there after they post it and go, you know what? That was
you bring up a good point.
That was a banger. Like
it's a good point, dude.
Like what are people thinking?
Here's the thing. Back in the day, pre-social media, we're all old enough to remember this. Most of our listeners are as well. Before social media, people would do dumb things. Very similar things. It wouldn't be documented, though. There wasn't the digital fingerprint, so to speak, on it. You wouldn't have it for forever. But don't you remember, like, in the 90s, people would do things like this, but you wouldn't be like, oh, let me go get a copy of the news from July 7th, 1994, when they interviewed the Charger fan, and nobody has that. But now everyone has this for forever.
That's also the problem with social media.
Yeah, exactly.
Is you get a lot of stupidity like this.
Yes, I completely agree with that.
Like,
I do.
From the floor up.
From the floor up.
What does that even mean?
From the floor up, John.
It's almost like It's So Cold in the D chicks moves to LA and then they make this song.
Dude, it is so bad. It's so bad, but it's so funny.
Real quick, because I this is a serious question. You talked about this yesterday. I saw on YouTube today some of the sports talk stations in LA, whatever they are, right? One of them is iHeart Station. But seriously,
yeah,
they're like, some of the thumbnails on YouTube promoting their show, like the images, said biggest sports day in LA ever, or in the history of Los Angeles. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, Lakers Suns game 2. Okay, sure, it's the Lakers. World Series, no doubt, but it's not the first time the Dodgers have been in the World Series. I think it's their 21st. And SC at home against Rutgers at 8:01 Pacific, which is when it's scheduled to kick off. And by the way, if the World Series goes past 8 o'clock Pacific, USC Rutgers is on FS1. It will then switch over to Fox. My point is, yeah, the World Series is a big deal. Is the rest of the stuff that big of a deal? The Lakers regular season against the Suns and Rutgers USC?
Has someone made a video about today's
about
like
Rutgers USC?
Rutgers USC and
how many people
Lakers,
are going to be at the Coliseum?
Lakers Suns.
How many people are at the Coliseum when the game starts?
I just want to know where these two girls are going to be. Are they going to be at Dodger Stadium or are they going to be somewhere else?
Yeah, what if they're like wearing Rutgers jerseys? It's a good point.
Can they name 5 Dodger players? I don't know.
Will the Lakers game be sold out? Yes.
Yeah.
It's the Lakers.
It is. It's traffic getting.
But that's every day in LA, isn't it?
It is, but today,
I get it. I mean, they're gonna have the Olympics too.
I mean, on a random Wednesday, yeah, it's awful. On a Friday, I'm gonna look right now. A Friday, all right, to get.
Oh yeah, how long would it take right now? Let's drive to Dodger Stadium from here. IHEART San Diego to Dodger Stadium right now.
Oh, dude,
4 p.m.
Oh my god,
how long does that take?
Hold on, here we go. Ready? Dodger Stadium.
Yeah,
it would take
3
hours and 36 minutes allegedly. Which
5 hours.
Yeah,
5 hours.
5 hours.
So okay, so you leave at 4 p.m.
But it's
you're
just a
getting
couple
there.
hours
Let's
away.
say 8, maybe 8 p.m.
So the game's over.
Which is when the game ends.
Yeah.
It starts at 5 p.m.
I'm already looking right now.
But you can get to Rutgers USC, which starts at 8.
So here's the map around Dodger Stadium. It's all red.
Why?
It's like dark red, not like light red, dark red.
Wow. It's almost like it's a big.
And maybe if you go to Dodger Stadium, you can hear this outside as you drive up.
Us in LA ripping on Stadium Way. True blue geared up from the floor up. Dodger players ready to tear it up. Yankees be ready to lose. The boys in blue winning the series, fool. LA, baby. That's right. Rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela.
That doesn't even rhyme.
Here's
Like,
the thing.
that's
If I'm Aaron Boone, I bring the guys together. I bring like my little like pill box, like like my Bluetooth speaker.
Yeah, here you go, guys.
And I'm like, here we go. Like
that's all you need.
I had something prepared to tell the team.
Yeah.
I got 23 seconds for you. And he ties in his Bluetooth speaker to his iPhone, plays that, and says, hits him on the backside. Let's go. Nothing more needs to be said. Let's win this thing at 4.
Yeah,
let's take care of business early tonight off Flaherty.
Because the Dodgers or the Yankees didn't need any motivation, any more motivation.
Exactly.
They're like, hey, Skip.
Exactly.
We're not really feeling it right now. Can we get some motivation to get the World Series game 1? He's like, I got it.
I got my Bluetooth speaker, guys.
Click.
All right. Do you think maybe the Dodgers will be like, hey, we got to win it for these 2 chicks?
No. Call right now if you want San Diego State. I don't. Call right now if you want San Diego State tickets for the exhibition game Wednesday at Viejas Arena against San Marcos. 2 free tickets for caller 5, 877-767-4760. Kick off the Aztecs men's basketball season next Wednesday against San Marcos. Exhibition game. Caller 5, you're going. 2 free tickets. 877-767-4760. Let's get it ready for tomorrow. Homecoming at Snapdragon Stadium. San Diego State and Washington State. Paul Garrison covers the Aztecs for the East Village Times. He'll join us next.
This update is brought to you by the Southern California Partnership for Jobs. Game 1 of the World Series tonight, 5:08. First pitch at Dodger Stadium. Yankees and Dodgers. Garrett Cole on the mound. The Yankees against Jack Flaherty for the Dodgers. Tomorrow night is homecoming night as the Aztecs take on Washington State. 7:30 kickoff, 5:30 pregame right here on San Diego Sports 760. Tonight, we have the Sean Lewis Coaches Show at 6 p.m. after our show. And after the Sean Lewis Coaches Show at 7 p.m. will be Lakers basketball as they take on the Phoenix Suns. Think traffic's getting worse? You're right. We waste 30% more time in traffic today. Vote yes on G. Fix streets and speed up commutes. Let's get home faster. Let's go San Diego. Vote yes on G. Ad paid for by Southern California Partnership for Jobs.
All right, San Diego and Southern California, what's going on? This is hour 2 of Jon and Jim. We will give away a 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld's Howl O Scream this hour. We've got San Diego State men's basketball tickets in the 5 o'clock hour for an exhibition game against San Marcos. And it's always our pleasure to welcome back Paul Garrison from the East Village Times, who does a great job covering San Diego State athletics, primarily football and basketball, and is with us right now to preview tomorrow at Snapdragon Stadium. Tomorrow night, San Diego State, Washington State. You can hear it right here at 7:30, Aztecs and Cougs. And Paul, I saw some of your reporting this afternoon. You're reporting that Lewis Brown IV, who's been a big play threat for San Diego State on offense, will be out tomorrow at receiver. Mekhi Shaw, veteran receiver, will be in. What's the circumstance there, and what impact do you think it has on tomorrow night? And thanks for hopping on.
Hey, good to talk to you guys. So he apparently missed a team meeting on Sunday. Lewis Brown did. So I don't know that he's out, but he is not starting.
Okay.
And Mekhi Shaw is the starter, and exactly, what happens after that, we're all in kind of that wait and see. And I think the impact is he has been, Lewis Brown has been their most consistent deep threat. The way that teams have been covering the Aztecs, a lot of one-on-one stuff. But I do think that Mekhi Shaw can offer some of that, but I think he's also going to be a little bit more consistent in like the RPO game and some of that mid-range stuff. Lewis Brown has had some drops this year in kind of like over the middle areas. And so, Mekhi Shaw is a veteran, has played a lot of football. And it's obviously a loss because that is your starter. But it's anyone's guess if that means that he's just not starting and It's only going to be one series and how that works from there.
So 6 games remaining here. 3 games you're probably going to be the underdogs in. 3 games maybe be the favorites in. They're 3-3 right now. 6 wins is, I think, the goal to get to a bowl game. Do you envision that happening and the path to get there? How do you envision this going?
The path to get there, I think, you're going to look at New Mexico. You're going to look at Utah State and Air Force as the 3 games that you would circle, and you would say, okay, those are probably the 3 best chances. As the season has progressed, however, New Mexico, I think they put up like 50 points in each of the last 3 games.
Yeah.
That game is in the middle of Boise State, Washington State, and UNLV, and so that becomes maybe a much tougher game. The game up in Logan, anytime you go on the road is going to be difficult. We'll see what the weather is like up there. It is a 12:30 start, and then I think you kind of look at this game and you look at UNLV as maybe kind of the next game if they were going to steal one. And then, the game up in Boise, obviously, coming up a week from today, obviously looks pretty hard and pretty tough with the way Gentry is running the ball. So I don't know how it will play out, but I do think it's very exciting in the sense that every game matters. And, the Aztecs are fighting to improve and to be able to first do exactly what you're talking about and make a bowl, and that does look like how it'll play out. But they're coming off a bye, and we'll see if there's going to be improvement because they've had great halves on offense, and they haven't been able to put together a full game. But if they're able to do that, kind of the idea of what this team can be kind of changes.
Yeah, I think it's a really good point. It almost feels as if, I don't know if due is the right word, but it feels like in some of this progress that they're coming up in a game where they're going to score 30 plus points on offense, right? Like they haven't yet done that outside of maybe the FCS game, but the offense absolutely is improving. They're coming off a bye, to your point. Let's talk about John Mateer for Washington State. I mean, Washington State's been really good. They're 6-1. Yes, they lost at Boise, but they've got good wins against P4 opponents, including Washington and Texas Tech. And their quarterback is really talented and can do it with his arm and with his legs as well. They've had an extra week to prepare for him. Can he be slowed, or how do you slow John Mateer and allow your offense a chance to potentially win the game for you by outscoring Washington State?
I think there's two kind of veins of thought on how you can slow him down. I think one way is to try to do whatever you can to make him a pure pocket passer. That is, that he can be dangerous when he's able to extend plays and he's able to do that. And so if you're able to be disciplined and make him into the pocket passer, but he also does have 1,800 yards passing. And so, that part of his game is there as well. And I think maybe the other side of it is when you do have a guy who kind of has, sneaky athleticism, he is their leading rusher. Sometimes you just want to bring guys and try to, kind of get him before he gets going and bottle him up with three guys and blitz heavy to be able to do that. Teams have been able to slow him down at times and had some games where he, did not look great. They were able to win a game up at Fresno State, but they needed a fourth quarter interception return for a touchdown to be able to do it. I think that, you look at what San Diego State has in front of them. I think it's the goal is to try as best they can to make Washington State one-dimensional and try to make them, have to be forced to pick up some third and longs and things of that nature. But he is a terrific quarterback, and I think he's one of those guys that if you like football and you enjoy just kind of the X's and O's and exciting athletes, I mean, this is one of the best ones in the country. And I mean, for him to only be a sophomore is pretty amazing.
What letter grade would you give Sean Lewis through the first half of his first season here at San Diego State?
I meing, I think right now, I think you'd have to probably give him a C, which might be another way of saying it's incomplete. San Diego State hasn't like fallen off the bandwagon by any means. But I think you also have to say, like, it's been disappointing. The fact that the offense hasn't played better, right? I mean, that was what everything is billed to be. And I'm not really sure you could, I'm not really sure that they've really outpaced the offense of a year ago. And so I think that's where, is the interesting aspect of this. But the flip side is, if you have a true freshman at quarterback and, they've coached him in a way where they've been in position to win 4 games, which heading into the year, you would have looked at and you would have said, that's pretty good. I think they've done a really good job with their Sean Dillon, who is their director of player personnel, and all that they've done in bringing in the transfers to replace all the transfers that left. I mean, there are some guys who came from the FCS level who are just really talented, and they were able to identify and bring them in, and they've been big pieces. So I think it's a mixed bag. But through 6 games, I don't think it's completely unexpected. And if they're able to, in the second half, get a much better, production from their offense, I think that grade could be a lot higher by the end of the year.
Paul Garrison, East Village Times with us. San Diego State, Washington State tomorrow at 7:30 here on San Diego Sports 760. Paul, do you have any feel for their ability to retain Trey White beyond 2024?
Yeah, I think I do. I mean, I think what has to take place now. I mean, the first thing that we should also mention is he is a redshirt sophomore. So if he matches what he did in the first half, he can leave for the NFL.
Right.
So I think what has to happen is if he decides not to leave for the NFL, I think him and his family and his supporting cast have to all get together, and I think you have to ask yourself, go and talk to scouts and get a grade. And if you have at San Diego State, a grade of a 4th, 5th round draft pick in that area, I think you stay at San Diego State. I mean, how many guys go to the NFL and are drafted and then when they go to the NFL, they're exposed as not being good enough to be at that level. If Trey White transfers to another school, even if there is some NIL money attached to it, and he doesn't produce there at the same level that he produced at San Diego State, he might be forfeiting that NFL check. The flip side of that is in very much a similar vein is kind of like a Lamont Butler for the basketball team. Probably the NIL check for Lamont Butler is potentially the only check that he's going to cash for his basketball career stateside. And that could be the biggest one, I should say. And so it made sense to be able to go and to seek that at Kentucky. And if Trey White gets a grade that comes back and they just say, hey, you're great at the college level, but we don't see you as being anything other than an undrafted free agent, then you might have to have that conversation to say, okay, can we go seek money in the NIL realm? But as long as he's an NFL prospect, I don't see there's any reason to leave. I think Mike Goff, the former offensive line coach at San Diego State, said it best, that the NFL is the best NIL. And if he is a true NFL prospect, he got that by being at San Diego State, and he should stay because the $1 million that he would get in the NFL is much more than any NIL contract that he would be able to get.
Yeah, good insight and perspective. Paul, we always appreciate it. We are looking forward to tomorrow night. We'll see if San Diego State, as a home underdog, can potentially pick up what would be a marquee win. Washington State will be here tomorrow at 7:30, and on San Diego State's quest for 6 wins. Man, that would go a long way should they beat the Cougars at home. But, Paul, we always appreciate it, man. We'll do it again later on here this season, all right?
Right on, guys. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Paul Garrison, check him out in the East Village Times. Does really good reporting and writing on San Diego State football and basketball. Cynthia Freeland, by the way, in the NFL. Remember yesterday you gave out the free advice of, I think you said Vikings by 14. They lost by 10.
Oh, yeah. I was an idiot on that one.
NFL's tough, dude. It's tough.
That wasn't good. And now, guess what? With the Rams win yesterday against the Vikings, guess who's
better than the Niners?
Guess who's in last place in the NFC West?
San Fran?
Let's go.
Why? Based on tiebreaker? Or?
Yeah.
Did they lose
They choked
Rams?
against the Rams. They choked against the Cardinals. And the Seahawks have a better record.
Well, maybe you can draft who's the big sexy pick at the top of next year's draft.
Give me Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, Shedeur.
And then
Brock. Put them both in the backfield.
Yes.
That'd be awesome.
Dual quarterback for the first time. Like,
who's going to get the snap?
Yeah, just have two quarterbacks back there.
Right, exactly.
And they can just like toss it back to each other. And
I'm sure Shedeur won't be anything like that other guy that you drafted highly and then traded him away.
Oh, right. Trey Lance. Yeah, that was a good pick.
He was so awesome. I forgot his name already.
Let's trade up.
Well, he also like didn't play any college football.
Right, 1 year. Dakota State, right? Was there a COVID year in there? Was one game that 1 year.
He didn't play. Like they drafted him, and he didn't play for like a year.
Right, and he only played like 1 out of like 3 years in college.
Right, because COVID.
Wait, is he still with the Cowboys?
He's a third string quarterback. He's like the emergency quarterback with the Cowboys.
Do we know his salary? What has he earned in the NFL?
Well, he had that
because he had a rookie deal that was high.
It was a third overall pick, like close to 10, 20 million.
So he's going to get tens of millions. We haven't seen him in forever.
A couple games for the Niners. Okay.
No, but I know we haven't seen him since, and that's been a little bit of time, right?
And he just can't like throw to the open receivers. Like,
yeah, that's like a problem when that's your job.
In the final preseason
it's kind of
game,
important for quarterback.
You remember his stats in the final preseason game this year?
Let me answer that. No.
He had
1 of 15.
He actually threw for like 350 yards, but he had 5 turnovers combined.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Dude.
Maybe actually more turnovers.
Would the Niners consider trading back for him?
No, God, no. I'm surprised they've got like a 4th round pick for him, which they did.
We're going to get to the wrap on the other side. Plus, we finally have the official ratings info on that Chargers Monday night game.
Oh, it's official now?
Was it the lowest rated game ever or since when? We'll have that for you coming up this hour, plus your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld's Howl O Scream. It's Jon and Jim. serious question for you, Jim. Kyle Shanahan, San Francisco, similar to Andy Reid, Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Or Willard, Philadelphia, because that's his big take today.
I said that on Monday.
Well, he said it on Friday. Do you want me to text him that? Did you get this from us? Because I'm seeing that Willard says that. I'm concerned that if this doesn't turn around quickly,
There's no
this will
podcast to prove it, so you didn't say it.
This will be step one of the staircase of running, who I think is a great coach out of town, the same way Philadelphia did. Mark Willard on fans turning on Shanahan via Willard and Dibs.
Well, here's the problem.
Maybe you stole that from him.
No, here's the problem. Running a great coach out of town, I don't technically agree with that.
Agreed.
Because
Is he being run out of town right now?
one, he's not being run out of town. I mean, there's a lot of fans that, like me included,
Would be mad.
Yeah. I mean,
Seems not playing well.
But let's be real here. He's always the bridesmaid, never the bride. He's 0-2 in Super Bowls against Andy Reid. He is, I mean, the numbers are ridiculous when he's trailing in a game by 8 points or more in a regular season.
But this was Andy Reid. Because Andy Reid lost 4 consecutive NFC title games, lost the one Super Bowl, and McNabb was like throwing up on the field.
Yeah, you have my rant, Brent. I said
he freaked out earlier this week. I know
he will never win a Super Bowl with the 49ers. Not saying he won't win a Super Bowl in his career as a head coach, because I think he has a very good chance to do that.
Yeah, but is there going to be another side? Yeah, you said he might win a Super Bowl. Andy Reid could go down as like a top 2 coach. This guy's been his career is ridiculously good.
Thank you, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, but Andy Reid was in a lot of big games with Philadelphia. Didn't get over the hump.
Yeah, but also, if he didn't have,
are you going to say that? Oh, that's fair. The Niners haven't had the same quarterback play, no question.
Kyle Shanahan is 44 years old. He's as old as you.
What does that mean? I don't think I'm going to win a Super Bowl.
No, my point is that he has a long coaching career left, but it's not happening with the 49ers.
Right. Andy's 66. He's been in Kansas City for how long now?
Well over a decade.
Yeah, I was going to say 10, 11. Is that accurate? He's 11. Okay. So he left Philly around 53. Did he have 1 year? Or did he go? He went straight from Philly to Kansas City, didn't he?
Yep.
So he didn't leave Philly, you're right, until 53, 54. No, you're right. Kyle Shanahan, he's a good coach. There's no question about it. He's coached in big games. You're right. He could win multiple Super Bowls. But does it happen in San Francisco? Is a fair question.
It won't. Because and we'll get to the wrap here in like 2 seconds. But
all right, that was 2 seconds.
When things continue to happen the way that they've happened with him as their head coach, getting over that hump,
I agree,
is it's the same thing with Andy Reid.
Philadelphia was impossible.
It ain't gonna happen.
And then the change of scenery, and all of a sudden things change.
It's over.
And neither one of them knew the overtime rules.
No, Andy Reid knew.
No. Remember that game McNabb said he didn't know the overtime rules?
I do remember that.
There you go. There you go. If anything, I would if this season ends poorly, which I think it will for the Niners. Crazy hot take.
Yeah.
Who's the OC of Detroit?
Oh yeah, he was like this highly coveted dude, right?
Just saying.
Really? What? My crazy hot take is whatever Willard said. We should get him on the show. Let's get to it.
It's time for The Wrap, presented by Sombrero Mexican Food. Check out their website at sombreromex.com.
Who wins tonight's Mountain West showdown between Boise State and UNLV?
No, it's a big game, Jim.
Who wrote this question? Oh, I know. It's John Schaefer.
The winner of this game.
I did. I'm watching this over the World Series.
In the college football playoff. I will watch this entire game. Now, I'll go 2 screens. It doesn't start till 7:30 Pacific. So we can watch game 1. Boise State UNLV is basically Chiefs Niners. Are you going to answer the question?
Boise State.
You like Boise State on the road tonight? Why? Genty?
Anytime Genty's out there, I pick Boise State.
I like Boise State tonight.
Just because the dude's going to have 15 rushes for 230 yards.
Yeah. I like Boise State. It is a big game. I'm not kidding when I say that. It's a really good outside of power league game tonight between Boise State and UNLV. And I like Boise to win. Next question.
Will Bronny score a point this year in the NBA?
Well, you saw the plan for Bronny?
He's going to go back and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they should do.
I don't know if he's going to get enough time in the NBA to score a point. He might, if the Lakers are up by 30, he'll get like garbage time minutes.
Those games
He
happen.
still has to make it though.
Yeah,
True.
he's going to get a few. He's
Yeah.
going to score.
He'll score points.
He's going to score.
Do free throws count?
Yeah, it's
It's
a
a
point.
point.
But will he have how many field goals? I mean, it's a good question. How many field goals will he have in the NBA this year is a good question.
Will he score over under
10?
No. I'm thinking about total points. Over
Yeah.
under 50 points total this year.
I'd take under 50. Yes, I would take under 50.
Yeah, I'd take
points.
under.
I saw a funny meme. It was like LeBron and Bronny have combined to score 42,000 points.
That's amazing.
Or
It's
some
the
great
highest father-son duo ever.
Right.
That's a good point.
So funny. It's so funny.
He's not going to score. 50 is a lot. Like, that means getting in 15 games and scoring 4 points in those games. And that's actually doing a little bit of work. He's not going to get in 20 games. He's going to be in the
50
G
points
League.
is a lot. Yeah.
I think he's going to score like 10 to 20 points.
Well, if he
this
had
year.
one game where like they're up by, or they're down by 30 or up by 40.
He plays like all 12 minutes.
yeah, and he scores
takes
like
11
8 to
shots.
12 points. You're like, oh, that's almost there. 1/5 there.
Right.
They're gonna start him tonight.
How
They're
many
like,
did
hey,
Le-
kid? You're guarding KD.
How many did LeBron score on opening night?
Like 16 or something.
So that's the highest
16,
combined
17.
total for father-son duo in an
16
NBA
points.
game ever. 16.
Yeah.
No duo has ever scored more than that.
No.
All right, next question.
Until Wemby has a kid. Who has a better pitching line tonight, Garrett Cole or Jack Flaherty?
It's a good question.
It's a good question. Good question.
That's why I asked it.
I'm just gonna pick Yankees for the whole entire thing here. So I'll say Garrett Cole has a better pitching line.
You don't think Flaherty just shoves 8 innings, 1 hit, no runs?
Well, the last time Flaherty was out there, he got rocked in New York, if I'm not mistaken, right?
You are not mistaken.
He did.
Yep.
He was like the sacrificial lamb where
The game 5.
By the way, we didn't talk about this, we didn't play it at all. But that little weasel Ken Rosenthal
What did he do?
said that the only reason basically that the Mets won 2 games in that series is because the Dodgers
let 'em.
conceded it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? Just like you're
Does Manny make the open tonight for Ken Rosenthal? Like, does he work Manny Machado into the open?
Manny Machado, I feared for my life during
Yeah.
that series. Manny Machado, I'm
Manny
just so
Machado's
happy.
not in this
So
series.
happy that I get to cover the Dodgers again. Like, dude, we get it.
Here's my key.
Shut up.
Here's my thinking tonight. Does Garrett Cole, if Garrett Cole's 6 innings, 3 runs, is that enough for the Yankees to win game 1? Is Garrett Cole 6 innings, 3 runs?
No.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this you gotta. I don't know if we're gonna see many pitching duels in this series.
Yeah, we might not. It's a good point. I don't know. I think Garrett Cole by a nose, but likely decided in the bullpens tonight. Next question.
Star-studded World Series. Who's going to be World Series MVP?
Hopefully not Tommy Edman.
God.
Wow, that would be awesome. It'd be like the Super Bowl when it's always like some journeyman strong safety that had a pick.
Right.
It would not be awesome, Brent, because if Tommy Edman
Because
won,
the Dodgers
then the
won.
Dodgers won the World
But he's from
Series.
San Diego,
Oh,
Jim.
San
It's-
Diego
have a parade here
kid.
too.
We love San
They
Diego.
could do a
kid.
dual city parade.
No, we don't. Shut up.
Who's saying that?
I don't know. Whatever.
If there are 10 future Hall of Famers in the World Series,
One
MVP
of them should
is
win
Rando.
the World Series MVP.
Right. Among the group of. So who do you think?
I mean, the easy cop out's Juan Soto.
Yeah. Or the easy cop out is Shohei Ohtani.
Giancarlo Stanton career against the Yankees against the Yankees, against the Dodgers at Dodger Stadium. He holds currently the longest home run ever hit at Dodger Stadium.
Wait, did they move the Tatis plaque?
Oh no, sorry, you're right. Tatis now does, but before that, it was Stanton.
They put plaques everywhere.
They
longest to the
Why
pavilion, longest
Why
to
would
this.
the Dodgers do that?
It's like to them, it's like historical.
You're
To
like,
me, it's kind of.
oh, for
Why
Tatis
is
plaque
that? It is
in
kinda-
left field. It's a little weird to me how you put an opposing team's longest home run there. I'll go Soto just because it's easy and I want it to happen so bad.
Do you want it to be Soto?
I want the narratives to fly. I want that to happen. Just because it would help my narrative and it would help me out more than anything.
I just hope it's not Ohtani.
Oh yeah, of course.
On the other side, was Monday's Chargers game the lowest rated NFL game ever? That's next.
This update's brought to you by Southern California Partnership for Jobs. We're about 30 minutes away from first pitch at Dodger Stadium between the Yankees and the Dodgers for Game 1 of the Fall Classic. Garrett Cole on the mound for the Yankees against Jack Flaherty for the Dodgers. Tomorrow night, homecoming night, Aztecs take on Washington State, 7:30 kickoff, 5:30 pregame right here on San Diego Sports 760. And tonight after our show at 6 p.m. is the Sean Lewis Coaches Show with Coach Lewis, John, and Rich. You can listen to that right here on San Diego Sports 760. And then after the Coaches Show, we have Lakers basketball as the Lakers take on the Phoenix Suns. Think traffic's getting worse? You're right. We waste 30% more time in traffic today. Vote yes on G. Fix streets and speed up commutes. Let's get home faster. Let's go San Diego. Vote yes on G. Ad paid for by Southern California Partnership for Jobs.
San Diego Sports 760 has 13 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday with the Inflation Vacation. Listen to the nationwide keyword at the top of every hour from 6 a.m. through 6 p.m. Then enter at sportssd.com. The one thing I'll say about the nationwide keywords is they're never like elaborate. They're like, enter the word cat.
Well, yeah, because
why is it never like a word like discover?
Imagine if they said one time, they go, enter the keyword there, and you have to just pick.
Right. Yeah,
they're like,
true.
oh no.
I guess they don't want to
They
make
need
it a
something
spelling
easy to
bee.
spell. Yeah,
they don't want
I
to
could go
like, enter the word
xylophone.
expialidocious or whatever. I guess it should be easy.
Duh. People aren't like sitting there being like, oh yeah, I know how to spell this word. It's like, give them the easiest 3-letter word possible. Dog.
They really are typically like, enter the word
Pen.
now.
Yeah.
And you're like, NOE.
Yeah, exactly.
I say even now you can't do.
All right, so let me give this some context. We mentioned earlier this week that the Chargers-Cardinals Monday night debacle, it was a debacle. The idea was just very dumb. They aired a second Monday night game during a first Monday night game, but the second game was on ESPN Plus. And they put a QR code on the screen like, download the app, like watch right now. Here's what I didn't realize, Jim. This is where it becomes comical. So the total viewership is 1.8 million, and you're thinking NFL, that's crazy low. Okay, but it was on ESPN Plus, and we all recognize ESPN Plus isn't NBC or even Amazon or Hulu or whatever. Yeah. Okay, 1.8 million, not a lot of people. Hold on, though. But wait, there's more. The game, that audience also includes the television audiences in Los Angeles and Phoenix, because ESPN Plus games or all NFL games are given an outlet on local television.
That's right. Yeah.
So,
was it on in town here?
No, I don't. But I have no idea. But it says LA and Phoenix, so I'm assuming that means LA and Phoenix.
Okay.
So 1.8 million viewers is Los Angeles over-the-air television, Phoenix over-the-air television, and ESPN Plus. This is the lowest rated game since a Chargers game.
Wow.
In 2008, do you remember this showdown? Raiders, Chargers. Oakland was 3-9. San Diego was 4-8. 34-7, someone won. It doesn't say. Blowout, 34-7. And that's the last time a game had 1.8 million viewers. And those are like the two lowest rated games in modern NFL history.
I mean, it's not a surprise. That team's an absolute joke.
There's no fans.
They have no fans. It's a joke. No one cares in LA. Stupid.
Right.
Did you see they put up their obligatory Go Dodgers tweet today?
Again?
Yeah. So did the Clippers, by the way. When the Clippers had players like Kawhi on the team that openly root for the Padres, have been to Padres games, San Diego State ties, obviously, and they're putting up good luck Dodger tweets.
I always have less of an issue with the Clippers because they've been there for forever. You can your point's
they're
valid.
like the Chargers. No one cares about them.
True, but I mean, at least they've been there for forever. Look at this tweet. Go with 4 O's, like a go at Dodgers clap emoji.
I mean, I don't really care because I don't associate the Chargers with San Diego anymore, so it doesn't bother me, whatever.
And they got Harbaugh in an LA cap. I thought Harbaugh would wear Padres caps down here.
He did. He wore Padres caps before. He's been to Padres games. He's been to Padres games bringing his glove.
Right.
Coach UCSD.
No, he didn't.
Sorry, USD.
Correct.
My bad. Sorry.
Well, all of a sudden now he's a Dodger fan.
Okay.
Funny how that works.
Yeah, it's just an irrelevant franchise that, I mean, no one cares about.
So well, their tweet got 1.9 thousand likes.
I will give them credit on this. For all of this, the crap that they have done that has been really, really cringe and laughable and a joke.
Okay.
The one thing that they have done well is social media. I'll give them that. They've done really good on social media. They decided to like actually like if they're going to make any type of dent at all, they need to have a really good social media team, and they have that.
Would you ever want to do social for them though?
No.
When the first response is always like move the team back to San Diego, like that's truly the first response I clicked on the tweet.
Well, they're
It's
just
been
like
10 years.
It's just like an admin, so it doesn't really matter.
It's like the first response. Nobody in LA is saying go Chargers, so there's that.
Oh,
And
really?
they said go Dodgers. Yeah,
I just respond to
Yeah.
everyone, go Dodgers.
yeah. Like it's just ridiculous. Like the replies but I do agree with you. Like first of all, NFL social media. There's some ridiculously good content across the NFL on social media,
And
right?
NBA is really
NBA
good
too.
Yeah.
So you're right. I do give them credit for that, but it goes back to prove this point. Does good social media build a fan base? Is that real? Like is social media content? Is it real?
It can help.
Has it helped them?
No, I'm just saying it can help.
Has
Like,
it helped them?
I don't know, but I'm saying good social media can help whatever
Yeah, you're
company
saying can
or
help.
brand,
Yeah. No, I agree with
no
that.
matter what. Like,
Maybe the right company or brand.
yeah, and it also it amplifies things as well. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it can help. I think like if the Padres, as they've improved their social, and I think they have, that does amplify the message. That does help their brand, but they have a strong brand.
Mhm.
I'm saying if you have a weak brand, I think the Chargers would be considered that among the 32 franchises. I think that's fair. It is the NFL. It's a real brand. Let's not kid ourselves. But among the 32 brands, it's among the weakest, if not the weakest. Can you take a weak brand and put good social behind it and strengthen the brand, or you just
It's like sticking the Jags in LA and be like, we're relevant.
right?
You're not.
Or even if you put the Jags in London,
yeah, you're not.
like is that real or is that fake? I
No,
think it's fake.
It's fake.
Yeah, I think the same thing.
It's fake.
By the way, I saw that Alex Rodriguez has said on the pregame show that this is the World Series. This is as close as you're going to get to a Super Bowl for baseball. That's essentially what he said. I have the direct quote. That where's the direct quote? This is as close to a Super Bowl as we're going to have in this sport. Dodgers Yankees World Series. I guess that's fair.
I don't disagree with him.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. He's not saying it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's saying this is as close as we can do to it.
And their Super Bowl has freaking Joe Davis and John Smoltz. I saw a tweet the other day or something on Instagram, and it was like the last 7 World Series final outs. I always like watching those like little vignettes.
Right.
And
Just like Joe Buck.
And the last, I think, 3 have been Joe Davis.
Yeah.
And then it gets to Joe Buck, and I'm like, oh my God, this was so much better when Joe was around.
So he was running, those calls were running circles around Joe Davis,
Joe
you're saying?
Buck runs circles around Joe Davis.
Really?
I think Joe Davis, while he's professionally a really good announcer, me personally, I think he comes off as very cringe, and he can't walk away from the fact that he is the broadcaster
For the Dodgers.
to the Dodgers.
Is that his fault? Like if the Dodgers are in the World Series, like Vince Scully called the World Series on national TV when the Dodgers were in the 88 World Series, for example.
But Vince Scully didn't like slob all over the Dodgers knob for every single game of the regular season and then all of a sudden went quote unquote impartial. Vince Scully was always, I felt like, the utmost professional when it came to broadcasting, with obviously a lean towards the Dodgers because he is a Dodger.
But
announcer.
you're saying but you just said Joe Davis he's a professional.
He sounds professional, but he also, to me, comes off as like just cringe. Like, dude, there have been multiple times over the last couple of years where he's like crapping on the Padres during a Dodgers broadcast and being like, oh, maybe that's why they have to play the games or blah, blah, blah. Like, just did Vince Scully do those types of things? No,
I mean, Vince Scully's also like Vince Scully.
Vince Scully's a freaking legend.
Yeah, exactly. So we're not comparing Vince Scully to Joe Davis.
No, Joe Davis isn't even
But
in the same
I'm saying
ballpark.
Vince Scully was asked to do the same thing, which is be a local TV announcer and call the World Series. Others as well, right? Jack Buck maybe called Cardinals in the World Series. I don't know. Joe Buck at one point did local baseball, and I think he did Cardinals games.
Then he only became
transitioned
national.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. I just good for Joe Buck. He has the cush gig of Monday Night Football.
Oh, it's great. He's getting like $16 million to call 16 games.
God, it's perfect.
Yeah. No, it is. It's a good
baseball
gig.
really misses, I feel like, Joe Buck on a national stage.
Yeah, I think
just like
fair.
how Sunday Night Baseball missed John Miller and Joe
Yeah,
Morgan
after all
on a
those.
national stage.
70470 started with team. You have an issue with Joe Davis calling the World Series?
I don't have an issue
No,
with it.
I'm asking our listeners.
Oh,
No, I'm not.
it's just whatever.
But the fact that the Dodgers are in it, I'm not going to pin that on him.
No, it's not his fault. But
like we either don't like him. I'm just saying, like if it was Padres Yankees, you could say you don't like him. That's completely fair. But I don't not like him because I don't know. It's not.
I wonder
his
how
fault,
hard
the games he's calling.
they're going to bend over backwards for the Ohtani coverage this World Series.
Oh,
when you
many
have
seconds until his feet are on the dirt.
I honestly wonder too. Are you going to have up in 3 batters for Aaron Judge, a guy that had a better season
They might.
than Shohei Ohtani?
Maybe they would.
You better.
They might.
Because Ohtani's in this series isn't, to me, the best hitter. It's not. He's not.
I think you troll it with Tommy Edman. I'd say six batters
I would
away.
honestly respect that.
Yeah, if they did something,
and that'd be funny as hell. Because Tommy Edman just won the NLCS MVP.
I know. It'd be funny. All right, call right now if you want a free 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld's Howl O Scream. It's going on right now through November 2nd. An amazing prize valued at hundreds of dollars. SeaWorld's Howl O Scream. It's going on now through November 2nd. Call right now if you want those free 4 tickets. 877-767-4760. First 2 callers will be our contestants for trivia today. We call it Trainwreck Radio. 877-767-4760. We'll try to keep it on the rails today. 877-767-4760. Call right now. Great giveaway. Free 4-pack of tickets to SeaWorld's Howl O Scream. Cynthia Freeland from the NFL Network at 5 p.m. It's Jon and Jim. All right, Cynthia Freeland, NFL Network. She'll join us in about 12 minutes at 5 p.m. We'll get to Trainwreck Radio Jim in a moment, but 858 has chimed in. Guys, this episode comes off as a total whiner fest. Not a good look. Go SD, but quit the self-wallowing. Jim, it's not a good look. What does that even mean, not a good look? To who? You?
It's my opinion, moron.
You're listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah, I mean, what do you mean not a good look? We don't have a good look, by the way, guys. This is the show. We're not in it for any look.
Yeah.
Not a good look to me is I hate to put it this bluntly, but I will. It's the dumbest take.
It is.
That term, not a good look.
Not
for
a good
whom?
look, bro.
For whom?
Not a good look that you have an opinion about the Chargers.
The check cashes every 2 weeks. It doesn't say, good look this time.
You had a good look this week, guys. So here's your check.
Here's your 10% bump.
Whatever. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Have fun.
70470, start it with the word team.
Have a good weekend. Whatever.
70470, start it with the word team. All right. Cynthia Freeland will join us coming up at 5 p.m. That's when the World Series will get underway as well from Los Angeles. Right now, let's get to this.
Not a good look.
It's not a good look.
Not a good look, John.
All right, 3 questions, 2 contestants, 1 lifeline. Today's 2 contestants, we have RJ and Joe. RJ, you called in first. So you have your choice of John or Jim. Who do you want to go with?
Which is the groupie pants one that yells at the contestants? I want that one.
That's Jim.
That's me. So RJ, you
RJ
get...
and Jim.
I want Grumposaurus Rex. I'm going to be a good listener because I don't want to get my head bit off
you're
going to
get. You might get.
Yeah.
I'm having a good day.
You're already not being a good listener. You're not off to a good
RJ,
start.
shut up. No.
Shut up, RJ. Joe, you get John, all right?
Fine.
All right,
All
Brent,
right,
what's the
this is gonna
question
be
of the
fun.
day? This is going to be interesting.
All right, the World Series starts tonight. Today's question: name the 6 players in World Series history with 10 or more career home runs. So there's 6 players in World Series history that have hit 10 or more career home runs in the World Series. Name them.
All right, Joe, you're up first. What's your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
I'll try the lifeline first.
Oh
Okay.
boy,
So that's me.
that's you.
Lifeline. Babe Ruth.
That's a lot of home runs.
Babe
yeah.
Ruth.
Okay, Babe Ruth, you take that, Joe.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Boom.
All
Babe
right.
Ruth. Have you heard of him, Jim?
I've heard of him. He's good. RJ, back to you. What's your first guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
I'm so clueless, but I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to go with Bernie Williams.
Bernie Williams, good guess. Actually, that's a bad guess.
I mean, it's not a bad guess because of
it's
how many World Series they
right.
were in, but Bernie wasn't like Mr. Home Run.
He did win. He didn't win a World Series MVP,
Right.
but
He must not hit
yeah.
10 that year.
no, he didn't. Joe, back to you. What's your second guess? You do have you don't have a lifeline. Well, no, you do have a lifeline, right? No, he doesn't have a lifeline.
No, he doesn't.
He does not. So Joe's up to you. What's your second guess? What do you got?
I'll take Hank Aaron.
Hank Aaron. Not on the list. I don't
Like
think
that guess.
RJ, back to you. What's your second guess? You do have a lifeline if you want to use it.
All right, let's go with a lifeline. Why not?
All right. I'll go with Babe Ruth's teammate, Mickey Mantle. Do you take that?
Oh, sure, why not?
Wait, hold on. What do you mean Babe Ruth's teammate?
Well, not teammate, but they played under the Yankees. That's what I meant.
Okay.
Babe Ruth, yeah, not teammate. I get it.
They would have been teammates if they played at the same time.
Yes, they would have been teammates. Same
Right,
team.
It's not for
Same
playing in the big
franchise.
leagues like 40 years.
Just like LeBron and Magic Johnson would have been teammates if they played at the same time.
Right.
Shut up. Joe, back to you. What is your final guess? You don't have a lifeline, so what do you got?
Let's go with Pujols.
Pujols. Albert Pujols, not on
No,
the
he said
list.
Pujols. You idiot, Jim. Jim is such. What's the score of this game?
It's 1-1
Is it?
with a
Okay.
chance to win right here for RJ,
Okay.
but he doesn't have a lifeline, so it's all up to him. What do you got?
That's right. I'm going to go with Big Papi.
Big Poppy.
Emojis, let's see.
No. Wrong. Now we're going to overtime. Brent, give us the rules of overtime and the question.
All right, how overtime is going to work is I'm going to ask you guys another question. When I'm done asking the question, you're going to yell out the name of your teammate today, John or Jim. Don't yell out the answer. Whoever yells out the name of their teammate first, you're going to win the game by getting the question right, or you're going to lose the game by getting the question wrong. Do you guys understand?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Today's overtime question. How many titles do the Yankees have?
John.
I heard John.
All right. That means
I'm guessing. I'm going to take a guess.
Wait, hold on. Stop.
hold-
Stop.
who's up?
Well, that's RJ, but he didn't yell the right teammate. He yelled John. So he apparently didn't understand.
No, you told me I was John. I heard you all say John.
No, you.
Jim, you've got to take a gummy, bro. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what's happening now.
All right. Here's
Now
the
I'm
deal.
confused.
Here's the deal.
Okay.
RJ, you were my partner. I was your partner.
No, you guys said John. You were pissed at me because I told you to chill out and called you a grumpasaurus.
Well,
No.
well, you're
We
just
have
going to
3
lose then.
seconds, so
You're
we're
going to be a
gonna hang
real
up on you,
grumpasaurus. So
I mean,
So is he going to answer it?
so you're going to answer or
All
not?
right. What's your answer?
I'm fucking you.
All right, get him off.
All right. No.
We're done.
Okay. Joe, you won. Congrats.
Congratulations. We're not
This is-
doing that. You're not taking over the show. This is our show. I control I control it. If you're going to be like that when you call in, you're not going to be on the radio. End of discussion.
This could be the final week of Trade Wreck Radio.
You're trying to be funny, RJ. We let it go for the first time, and it was kind of funny, but then you turned into kind of a bum. So you're done. Sorry, Joe. You're the winner. Congratulations.
I want the music. Congratulations.
waiting for that.
RJ, please listen to us on podcast.
I
And
don't
keep
really
listening.
care. I mean, like, look, it's
He wasn't being that. Was he
No,
going? I wasn't really
I
hearing.
thought it was
everything
funny when he
said.
got on. Like, oh yeah, joking around because he listened to the segment when I yelled at the listener for not listening. And then you continue to
Wait,
go.
he
on
was
and
your
on.
partner or
He
not?
was my partner.
he picked him.
Okay.
He picked me. He picked the
And
quote
then he
unquote
thought he was with me.
grumpasaurus.
Right.
So I was like, all right, I'm your partner.
Who's on the list? Joe won. Who's on the list?
The Yankees had 27 titles, by
Okay.
the way.
Yep.
Since we had it. It's all Yankees, pretty much. Mickey Mantle, Babe Ruth, Yogi Berra, Duke Snyder, Reggie Jackson, and Lou Gehrig.
That's a good list.
It's all
That's a
Yankees.
really good list. That's a really good list. All right, congratulations to Joe. You've won a 4-pack of tickets to San Diego's largest nighttime Halloween event, SeaWorld's Hallow
It's a
Scream.
Friday for sure.
Now through November 2nd, 5 terror-filled houses, new scare zones and haunts, death-defying drops with rides after dark, themed food and bars, and the Master of Ceremonies and all creatures get released tonight. You don't dare venture alone. For more info, go to SeaWorldSanDiego.com. Cynthia Freeland to kick off Week 8 in the NFL. She'll join us next on Jon and Jim.
All right, this update is brought to you by Southern California Partnership for Jobs. We're moments away from first pitch at Dodger Stadium for Game 1 of the World Series between the Yankees and the Dodgers. Jack Flaherty on the mound for the Dodgers against Garrett Cole for the Yankees. We have homecoming tomorrow night as the Aztecs take on Washington State. 7:30 kickoff, 5:30 pregame right here on San Diego Sports 760. And tonight, the Coaches Show with Sean Lewis starts at 6 p.m. after Jon and Jim. And after the Coaches Show, we have Lakers basketball at 7 p.m. as the Lakers take on the Phoenix Suns. I think traffic's getting worse. You're right. We waste 30% more time in traffic today. Vote yes on G. Fix streets and speed up commutes. Let's get home faster. Let's go San Diego. Vote yes on G. Ad paid for by Southern California Partnership for Jobs.
All right, San Diego and Southern California is going on. Final hour of the week on Jon and Jim, which is probably a good thing. We will get you ready for
We
this
need a vacation.
weekend. We need a vacation. When the Dodgers are playing the Yankees and the Padres lost to the Dodgers and traded away Juan Soto, we need a vacation. So let's talk about the NFL as the World Series gets underway. We've got Cynthia Freeland, courtesy of Hamul Casino, back with us as she is each and every week from the NFL Network as we get ready for this weekend. As we get ready for Sunday and Monday, Cynthia, let's go back to last night. The Rams get healthier. They win. They beat the Vikings. Is it season changing? Is that going too far or not with what the Rams did last night? Thanks as always for joining us.
Yeah, no, it's great to be on. I mean, it very well could be, mostly because the West is still very achievable. I mean, it's not like the Niners have really made things even close to out of reach. And the Seahawks, they're certainly, making some noise, but a bit inconsistent. So I actually think that it's wild to say this, but getting healthier really has helped them, and this thing's not over yet.
And you mentioned the Niners there. I think that it's just not it this year for the Niners. I mean, you got too many injuries now with Brandon Ayuk out for the year. Who knows when Christian McCaffrey is going to get back? Brock Purdy had maybe his worst game of his career on Sunday, and their schedule does not get any easier. Do you feel like this uphill battle for the Niners is just too steep for them this year?
I mean, I think they'll make it to the postseason. I'm curious, the Christian McCaffrey returning would be really, really massive. I'm more interested to see if we can see one of the weirdest trends that I've noticed from the season so far, which is, Brock Purdy, as a percentage of his total passing yards, he has the lowest percentage of yards coming after the catch this year. And the Niners, for the past 8 seasons, they've led the whole NFL in that metric by a wide margin. So things are really different, this year than most years. And that's going to be hard to, if they kind of can't get back to doing the things that they're great at doing. And that's part of, the Deebo Samuel catch and run thing, just feels so locked in my mind. It's just going to make things a lot harder.
Cynthia Freeland, NFL Network with us. We're looking at this weekend slate of games. First of all, is Jaden Daniels, is he healthy or not? Is he playing this weekend?
Everything that I believe, I'm going to put it at 70-30 he's playing.
Okay.
No one has 100%, I don't have Cliff Kingsbury didn't call me at home and tell me this specifically, but based on how important things are, their position in that division, I do think they're going to really try. Maybe if they were playing a different team where, it didn't have implications in the NFC in terms of the wild card potential, maybe it would be 60-40, but I think it's an important one. I think it's more 70-30, maybe, and a little bit more.
So how intriguing is this? I mean, Bears and Washington, whatever they're now called, Commanders. I mean, how intriguing of a matchup is this? Because, again, the way Washington's been so down for so long, but now they've got their quarterback. Now maybe Chicago has their quarterback. You look at these, top high picks in the draft. This is a pretty intriguing matchup if these guys are healthy.
Yeah, I mean, and the injury report today showed that 2 of the Bears defensive backs, Kyler Gordon and Jaquan Brisker, are not going to be playing. So that is a pretty important missing pieces. Jalen Johnson is epic, but he's, it's really hard to control the entire secondary kind of with guys who aren't as good as your starters. So I think that should Jaden Daniels be playing, I think this one tips in the way of the Commanders, and should Jaden Daniels not be playing, I think it tips the way of the Bears.
Yeah.
When the Chiefs traded for DeAndre Hopkins, how much do you think that's going to help them going forward here? I mean, they're already undefeated already, but Patrick Mahomes, look at his numbers just on paper. It's, I mean, crazy how they're undefeated with him playing, I guess, as poorly as he has. But how much is DeAndre Hopkins going to help?
Well, DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, I no shade to his past quarterbacks, but he had some pretty awful guys throwing awful passes thrown his way. You know, even this year, you know, he's been in some tough situations. Kyler Murray was the best thrower he's had, and you know, even before that, I mean, look at those Texans situations. It wasn't good, you know. So ultimately, when I look at what he's good at, perimeter, you know, things that are very close to the toe drag swag is like something he must have patented himself. But also contested catches, and that's an area where, you know, with all of these injuries to the Chiefs in general, especially with Rashee Rice, contested catches are a really big deal. And, you know, we have seen the Chiefs rely a lot on Yak this year, kind of sort of normally, right? Like they're the Niners and the Niners are now the Chiefs in terms of how that has been working out. But, you know, you need a guy like DeAndre Hopkins to be this threat of like I kind of remember that game. Remember the Bills game against the Cardinals where it was like very last second, like a Hail Mary to the end zone. It's just DeAndre Hopkins. That is what he does, like in a nutshell. Just this like tight window catch. No one else could make it. You know, now you have Patrick Mahomes throwing you that up. Okay, things are good for them.
The NFL Network, Cynthia Freeland with us right now. Jon and Jim, San Diego Sports 760. I mean, this has to be a dumb question, but my point is the point, which is the Jets have to win the game. Just in general, they have to beat the Patriots, right? Because if they don't, what does that even look like on the other side?
I mean, well, this week, especially, like you get Hassan Reddick, who that was a big messy situation. You've already fired your head coach. And then you forced the TV people last week. I don't know if you were listening to the broadcast. They were saying something like, "Isn't it great?" Robert Solak calls Jeff Ulbrich every day. I'm like, that's weird.
Yeah.
Like that's a weird thing to force us. Like, and you know they were told to say it anyways. But the whole thing is odd. And if they don't win, it's just going to get even weirder. So, you know, if you are rooting for chaos, then root for the New England Patriots. But I will say Drake May is fun. Like they're just so banged up. It's hard to imagine how you'd find success against the Jets in general. Just when you have so many pieces on this Patriots team that just aren't playing, like the most different O-line combinations, the most, like other than Christian Gonzalez, their entire rest of their defense has been like pieced together with guys that like you have to go back and be like, where did they play college again? Oh yeah, they're undrafted free agent out of, you know, Louisiana Lafayette, or like, you know, like okay, you know.
The loss of Aiden Hutchinson might show up, you know, later in the year and maybe in the postseason. But I mean, right now, the Lions to me feel like one of the best, if not the best teams in the NFL, especially with their offense, the way that they have been playing. Just how good is this offense, Cynthia?
Well, the fact that Jared Goff has had 3 straight games where he has had a perfect passer rating under pressure, that to me speaks volumes. I mean, a lot of that has to do with how good the O-line is playing, but also how good the run game is, and also how good that, you know, the offensive coordinating has been going and the route running. So it's kind of all coming together. Because, you know, it's not to say I'm not taking anything away from Jared Goff. To get that very high end upper echelon number, you can't do that alone. You have to do it in unison with everything else on your team. So that's kind of what it's telling me. Now this game, this feels like there is a little trap door and they can easily fall through it. Why? Because that game against Minnesota was so incredibly emotional, no HUD. And then now this week there's some distractions. James Williams at 2-game suspension for being used. And then you've got, you know, just all of this like hoopla now, right? Like Jared Goff camps breaking out, you know, from Michigan. So you say U of M, MSU, and then the directional colleges. That's bad, but it's true. Western, Northern Michigan, all of them. Right. So they're all breaking out in Jared Goff camp. So this feels, I mean, be careful with the trap door. It's a little trap. If they can get past this, then maybe they have the poise to be able to kind of really make a strong run.
Cynthia Freeland is with us on the NFL Network. We talked about the Rams winning. Maybe it'll change their season. What about where the Vikings are? They were 5-0. Now they've lost consecutive games. How do you feel about where they are right now at 5-2?
You know, there's a couple of things when you're watching that game. Number one, the biggest, most influential thing in that game was Christian Darrisaw's injury. I mean, that left tackle position is, you know, not easily replaceable. I don't think there are 32 starter level guys in the world, let alone in the NFL. So, replacing that is going to be very difficult. And number two, the amount of penalties, especially on their defense, the undisciplined nature of the defense, that is so uncharacteristic of them. So I'm a little less concerned overall, but the Christian Darrisaw injury, I'm very concerned about that way. And, potential face mask grab aside, I still think, you've got that defense is, especially with how aggressively they want to play. If you're going to get penalized that much, then you're just going to make it really, really hard for yourself to win.
And speaking of, injuries are just kind of a part of the sport, but sometimes it feels like there's more injuries that are happening at a crazy rate than not. And this past Monday night, Bucks, Ravens, end of that game, Bucks, they were not going to win that game, and you had Chris Godwin out there, and he ends up, I think maybe twisting, dislocating his ankle, and his season's over with. Like, how much of a loss is that? And what's your thought on just like, all the injuries that are happening around the NFL?
Well, the wide receiver position, we set a record for starter level snaps. So, more there's a kind of an arbitrary line as to who's the starter, but we are now in uncharted territories in terms of number of wide receivers at that starter level who are on IR. So not even just not playing, but like on IR specifically. So that's bad for your fantasy team, but it's also bad for your real team. But in terms of that specific Bucks matchup, I think that changes the division completely. It's not like the South was burning anyone's, was making everyone like, oh, hey, this is going to be great. Like, everything's wonderful. But, Baker Mayfield was leading the league in passing touchdowns. And now you're asking a team where the run game, and when Bucky Irvin's your leading rusher, and it's very, very, every game feels like roulette as to if the run game is going to even work at all. When you lose two of the best guys in the league, Mike Evans hasn't been playing. This is bad news, man. Like, this is really hard on the Bucs, especially because it seems like such a seesaw between them and the Falcons for what is very likely to be the one and only slot coming out of the South that enters the playoffs.
I don't know how they do it every week. I get out of my bed, I'm like, everything hurts. I don't do anything. And again, I'm older than them. They're probably more gifted athletically than I am.
Maybe.
Honestly, getting the fact that they can play at the level that they play. And again, it is still pretty ridiculous. What we see every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, it's ridiculous. Just don't get old is the point. Yeah,
first of all, getting old is the worst.
Right.
Once I realized that I could be, and I wouldn't even be like some weird, very young mother to be there. Like, I could actually be one of their mothers. I'd be young, but not not crazy young anymore.
Right.
And I sit there and I'm like, you young boys, this is a young person's sport. Like, I just look at it, like the warm up sometimes. I'm like, holy crap. I've had enough from just your warm up.
I know.
And I've run marathons.
Right. And it's just, we'll let you go, but it's just weird. Like, it's in what part of life is like, oh, he's 28. He's getting up there. Like, he's not getting up there. He's 28 years of age.
Tires, man.
Man, he's
4
got a lot of
running back. Yeah.
It's been crazy. Saquon's 27 now. Like, what is that?
He's
Is
an
that a
old
bad
running
thing?
back.
Cynthia, we appreciate it.
My mom called me about DeAndre Hopkins. She goes, he's 36, right? I was like, and?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
She was like, is he going to do anything? She's like, is he even going to be able to do anything? I'm like, Mom.
Yeah, there's 36-year-olds that can do things. It's possible.
Like, Mom, I'm like, can I do things? Because if the answer is no, then we are all screwed here. Like,
exactly.
what are you talking about?
I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cynthia, we appreciate it. We'll do it again next week.
Absolutely. Have a good
All right. Cynthia Freeland from the NFL
So true.
Network. We'll update you on game one from Los Angeles on the other side. Plus, we have tickets to give away Wednesday night at Viejas Arena, an exhibition between San Diego State and San Marcos in men's basketball. This is Jon and Jim. All right, hey guys, it is Jon and Jim, and Underdog is the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching sports. With over 5 million happy players across 33 states and $2 billion won, Underdog makes it fun and easy to cash in on all your favorite athletes' performances.
Yeah, with their pick'em game, you could win up to 1,000 times your money just by choosing higher or lower on players' stats. The NBA is back. If you think LeBron's going to score higher or lower than 20.5 points in an upcoming game, you can create entries and pick that on basketball picks, mix and match across other favorite sports of yours as well to win real big time cash.
You can win big time. You can download the app. You can sign up with promo code Jon and Jim and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. You can play across all sports, like Jim said, which includes the World Series. And that's promo code Jon and Jim, JONANDJIM.
Must be 18 years or older and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms to apply. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.com.
All right, inning one takeaway from Dodger Stadium. We have Aztec tickets to give away for Wednesday against San Marcos, San Diego State men's basketball exhibition. Inning one takeaway, Dean Spanos is sitting directly behind home plate in the first row.
So my first question is, how did he afford those tickets?
Right.
And if he didn't buy those tickets or get those tickets himself with his own money, who'd he suck up to get those tickets? Like who gave him those tickets? I mean, he's very good at sucking up to get things in his life. So how did he get those tickets?
But here's the other question. Why? I don't even understand the dynamic. I'm being serious. I have to ask a serious question. I own a team. Let's just walk through this. I own a team, and it's in my family's name for all these years, a couple generations. Now I decide to move them. And now I'm also a fan of all the other teams in the city. Like, he's pretending, or is this real?
No,
he's a big Dodger fan. He's wearing blue.
So you got Dean.
He actually wrote this.
Us in LA ripping on Stadium Way. True blue geared up from the floor up. Dodger players ready to tear it up. Yankees be ready to lose. The boys in blue winning the series, fool. LA, baby. That's right. Rest in peace, Fernando Valenzuela.
Written by Dean Spanos.
Written by Dean Spanos.
Isn't it? It's one thing to be there. It is odd to me to be so visible. You are behind home plate in the first row.
It's an eyesore. Just an absolute eyesore, that piece of...
Hey, he's in the famous Larry King seat right next to Mary Hart.
They're even like better.
How is Mary Hart still like... I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, it is a whatever. The other takeaway is the Yankees threatened off Jack Flaherty, didn't score. There was a walk to Juan Soto. All he does is walk.
Might have a problem.
And then there was an error on San Diego's own Tommy Edman.
Oh, San Diego's own.
And it was first and second. And then Jazz Chisholm grounded out. Jack Flaherty, I think from Alden Gonzalez, is throwing much harder. The velocity is up for Jack Flaherty tonight. He's throwing
congratulations.
as 97 miles per hour in the first inning.
Yeah. Dude's probably so hyped right now.
Well, he
World
wasn't.
Series.
I guess he wasn't hyped in game 5 of the NLC. It wasn't big enough moment. Game 5 of the NLCS.
No,
But he's
game
hyped
1 of
up
the World Series
right
though.
now.
Yeah.
So the World Series is underway. Game 1, Dodger Stadium
Cool
in Los
graphics.
Angeles. And we just kind of cross our fingers, I guess. I mean, there's nothing else to do other than
go Yankees.
Hope that this works out well
I like
for
saying that.
the Yankees. Yeah, you are mad, aren't you, tonight?
Tonight?
Just in general.
I had someone on
someone
Twitter.
ripped you on Twitter, I
Yeah,
saw.
It's funny. So this person,
Shane
Diego. He said
Aztec logo for his
yeah. Doesn't follow
emoji.
me. I don't know if he follows you. Probably
Let's see if he
follows
does. Yeah, he follows me.
Of course he does. Trainwreck Radio or Jim has to go. So like one or the other.
You could stay.
Yeah, no, it's one or the other.
You could stay true.
Said kid gets uncomfortably unhinged too often. Literally has me cringing at my desk.
I replied, agreed.
I replied, LOL.
So no, I didn't think today was not on you. Basically, was it RJ or was it
Yes,
RJ? RJ
yes.
just he was on one. He was on one. Shohei Ohtani has hit a ball that was caught.
Okay.
Okay, that's your update. There's your Ohtani update.
I'm sure all Dodger Stadium thought it was.
We're not supposed to
roasty.
report those.
Yeah.
We're only supposed to report the home runs,
Right.
because none of his balls are.
He's
caught.
due up in 9 batters, by the way. I just
9?
popped it up. He's due up in 9 batters after flying out.
Okay.
Did you see that meme that came out this week where they showed like some 1923 World Series footage in the corner? It's like only 40 centuries until Ohtani's first at bat. or
Yes,
something.
I do like that.
Yeah.
I do like that.
Shane,
so,
buddy.
are you mad at this?
No. Oh, no, I don't care.
You seem
But-
triggered.
No, I'm not. I just want to let you guys know, Shane Diego. If you come at me and I come back at you, then you can't be like upset about it.
You're saying on the radio?
On the radio. Like,
Okay.
like you can come at me, I don't care. But if I
Right.
come back at you and then you cry about it, then that's on you. And you can't really, I feel like, say anything else because it's fair game.
What about earlier when 858 said this episode's a total whiner
Yeah.
fest? Well, since then, 619 said Jim blocking the press conference with his bald spot was not a good look. And then 619 said Trainwreck Radio these days seems like an S show. But he put in an emoji, like an LOL emoji.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Trainwreck Radio. It's not going anywhere because of RJ.
No, and
You know?
you got like people like Shane Diego who whatever. Like you guys are going to listen. So
You guys are going to listen to
we know you're going to listen. So
Okay. All right.
it is what it is.
So we are
And-
scoreless.
And by the way, this is our show. So we can tell whoever we wanted to tell, like, hey, guess what? You're not allowed on the radio anymore, or you're not going to be a voice on the radio anymore because this is our show.
yeah, although how do you even do that?
It's very simple.
I mean, you call like okay, I'll give you an example. Here's how I
Okay.
get around that. Here's
Okay.
my workaround from RJ.
Yeah. Well, okay.
I call up, I'm like, my name's PJ.
So I know.
Like we don't have like
Yeah.
high tech technology.
No, I know. But then all of a sudden,
We have caller ID.
we do have
John.
caller ID though.
Okay. He could call from his wife's phone. I'm giving RJ some ways to get back on the show.
Do it.
RJ, call him tomorrow on Saturday
Yeah.
at 5:00. We'll see if we
Yeah.
can get you back on.
We're on at 3 tomorrow.
I didn't have a huge issue. Speaking of tomorrow,
I don't
I didn't
care.
have a huge issue with it. I really did.
I really don't care.
Tomorrow we do have San Diego State football at 7:30.
Oh, great.
Oh, errors everywhere. Error is literally everywhere. Freddie Freeman cannot run, and he just legged out 3 bases because of an error in left field.
Alex Verdugo. Bro, what are we doing?
I don't know.
Why am I so invested in like Yankees right now? I hate it. I hate that I'm
Why?
such a Yankees
You have to
fan
be
now.
vested.
I know.
You have to be. Because if the Dodgers win the World Series, we don't know how we're going to start our show.
We're going to start a show like this.
Fuck Okay, I'm glad you said that. That would have been get the dump button ready.
Well, yes, I know, John. I'm not stupid.
Sean Lewis show at 6 p.m. tonight, by the way, for Aztec fans. Then Aztec football tomorrow night at 7:30. Pregame coverage will begin at 5:30. Ben Fletcher and J.R. Tolver. So I'll have that for you tomorrow. We do have Aztec basketball tickets for Wednesday. We were at this great event last night with the Mesa Foundation, Top of the Key, men's basketball team. Everyone's excited. If you want to go Wednesday to this exhibition game at Viejas Arena, San Diego State and San Marcos, why don't you call right now? Because you're going to go. We have two free tickets for you. Call right now, 877-767-4760. 877-767-4760. Caller 4, you are going. Fourth caller to 877-767-4760 has two free tickets to see San Diego State and San Marcos to kick off the 2024-25 season, an exhibition game before the season gets underway against UCSD. We can't wait. 877-767-4760. Call right now. Caller 4. You are going with two free tickets. Updates from Los Angeles on a Friday night, plus Jim's back page still ahead on Jon and Jim. All right, guys, it is Jon and Jim. We've been telling you about our friends over at Jamul Casino. It's an amazing spot that you should get to this weekend. If you're looking to watch any of the action, World Series, NFL, college football, more, get to Jamul. It's a short drive. It's a great spot this football season, this October. Make sure to get there every Monday night in October. You've got a chance to win big at Jamul.
Yeah, get to Jamul Casino. Get to Jamul Casino with chances to win every hour at 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. Your odds, they're better than ever. Plus, their Onyx players are going to receive an extra $100 in cash bonuses on top of their winnings. Plus, earn entries all month long by playing and getting two-time entries on Tuesdays with at least $500 in cash for all winners and a chance to win up to $25,000 in cash.
When you get there and you're hungry, go straight to Tony Gwynn Sports Pub. You will love it. They've got all the action on the TVs, great food and drinks, great Tony Gwynn memorabilia. In addition, Jamul has endless dining 5 nights a week. You will love it, including tomorrow night at Jamul, endless dining, Saturday surf and turf buffet, great steaks, seafood, and more.
Yeah, Tony Gwynn Sports Pub is the place to be to watch NFL action, World Series action, NBA action. Their food is also amazing. Get to Jamul Casino. It's fun above all else. All right, this update is brought to you by the Southern California Partnership for Jobs. Game 1 of the World Series underway in LA. Dodgers and top of the second inning there. Tomorrow's homecoming with the Aztecs taking on Washington State. 7:30 kickoff, 5:30 pregame right here on San Diego Sports 760. And tonight is Deshaun Lewis Coach's Show with Coach Lewis, John, and Rich, 6 p.m. And then at 7 p.m., right after the Coach's Show, is Lakers basketball as the Lakers take on the Suns. You can listen to all that right here on San Diego Sports 760. Think traffic's getting worse? You're right. We waste 30% more time in traffic today. Vote yes on G. Fix streets and speed up commutes. Let's get home faster. Let's go San Diego. Vote yes on G. Ad paid for by Southern California Partnership for Jobs.
You hit us up with the talkback mic. We were using that yesterday. What were we asking? Oh, what would you get your word?
No. The worst superstar in sports.
That's right.
It's kind of
That's right. You don't like it?
It doesn't make
I
sense.
know. Well, we didn't bring it up. When Stephen A. Smith said that about Kawhi, we then asked our listeners and texters. You can hit us up with the talkback mic. Just go to the free iHeartRadio app. Listen to San Diego Sports 760. Tap that little microphone icon next to the play button to leave a 30-second talkback. Sean Lewis Show, as Jim just told you, coming up at 6 p.m. We're keeping you updated on Game 1 of the World Series, which is now moved to the second inning, where the Yankees have a leadoff base runner.
Anything to preview tonight in the Sean Lewis Coach's Show, John?
Yeah, absolutely. No, you know what we could preview tonight in the Coach's Show is that it is homecoming.
Wow. Okay.
So we talk about that. We talk homecoming and we talk about Washington State.
Amazing.
I mean, it's the Coach's Show, so we're going to talk about the game, you know? Now, we didn't talk.
What's Washington State's mascot, Jim?
It's a great question.
The Cougs.
Which is
I'll accept that.
Cougar.
Correct. Yeah. What was I going to say? We've touched on in recent weeks the importance of, like last night we're at that Mesa Foundation event. Trey White's got 11 sacks, and we had Paul Garrison earlier on, and we're like, what? Are they going to be able to retain him? Like, I have no feel for it. I really don't. I don't know if he's coming back next year, if he's going to go in the portal, if he's going to go to the NFL. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a scout. He's a third-year player. He's a redshirt sophomore. But, like, if he ends up with, like, 20 sacks, does that make it more likely he leaves because there's going to be a lot of money available in the portal? Or do you stay because you're coming off a 20-sack season? And doesn't that bode well for, like, the system that you're in?
What was it you were telling me last night? That he was the in NCAA football 25.
He had the highest overall improvement score in the game. So he went up 15 points in his overall from 73 to 88, which was the most in FBS football. And yeah, I mean, it's really incredible. I mean, he's fully bursted onto the scene. We had him on the show on Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
2 days ago, and you asked him about his future, and he said, I'm not really thinking about it, which honestly is probably the way to do it. Season's over in a couple of months. Worry about the next couple of months.
Yeah. Here's the thing about your future. Now. Exactly. Like, that will come. You know, he's got plenty of, and right now, he's going to Washington State. And also, can he get to that 21.5 sacks? Can he get above 21 sacks to break the single season record for sacks in San Diego? That is very doable with 6 games remaining. 11-6 right now, 11-6 more. Boom, there you go.
Oh, yeah, so easy.
I did math.
Yeah, I think the difference in the second half of the year is that everyone now knows. I think they didn't fully know until now.
They know
you got to do everything in your power to run plays away from him. I heard Washington State head coach this week. I've watched the show. Why wouldn't I? Dick Dickert, he's fully aware of the impact of Trey White have on the game. And it's just, I think it's a pretty intriguing game. I really do. I know the point spread says Washington State's out of favor, 15 points right now. I know they're 6-1, only lost on the field, Boise State. But San Diego State off the bye, having won back-to-back games. I mean, is it inconceivable to see them in the game late against Washington State tomorrow night? Well, I mean, we'll find out.
But they got.
Yeah, 27 the last 2 games. Yeah. If you get 27 tomorrow night, I think you're in the game. If you score 27,
What if Washington State puts up 40? You're not really in the game then.
No, you're right. And the Aztec defense is good. But no, you're right. You have to find a way at least to slow them to some extent. There's turnover, maybe. B +1. I think it's been good in that category. Just put yourself in a spot where you're within a score in the fourth quarter. You can make a play. They made a play against Hawaii. They made a play against Wyoming. Put yourself in a game where you're within 7 in the final 15 minutes, and then outplay. Easy as that. Sean, I got it, Sean.
Sean, it's easy.
I'll coach.
It's easy, dude.
Can I make a comment real quick? I'm going to go on my high horse. So, Yankees Dodgers scoreless at the bottom of the second.
Are you talking about the shift?
Yeah, it's bogus.
Yeah.
So, it's a running second with 2 outs. Yeah, I don't know who's batting. Who's batting? So, and the ball is hit sharply up the middle on the ground by the pitcher, right up the middle.
Right side of the
Right side. And there's the shortstop on the first base side. Tommy Edman is on the first base side of second. But the shift rule says you can't do that. So where do we start?
The shift rule.
That's the one thing that still bothers me. A ball hit right at the middle of the field.
Because what baseball teams have done is they've manipulated the rule where they just put someone right over the second base.
Yeah. Like there's nothing. Again, they no longer do the Manny shift, which is really impactful. You take your third baseman, put him in shallow right. That's gone. Okay, so now we know a ball hit through the right side is a base hit. Back in the day, it wasn't. Very Manny Machado. But now a ball hit up the middle. That's still the one thing that you're in your late 30s or 40s or older. When we were younger, the ball hit up the middle was a base hit. It was taken away for 10 years. And then they're like, well, they outlawed the shift. And you're thinking, oh, maybe the ball hit up the middle is going to be a base hit. No, that's the one thing. Still, the guy's right there. Right there. If anything, he was literally more the second base side.
And you can't really challenge it or get mad at it because it's an imaginary line.
Right, exactly.
So they're going to be like, well, I was straddling the line, or I was on the line, or I was this right here. The ball was hit. Like, it's just, you're going to find work.
I'm just trying to have everything right now. I'm just going to hit up the middle. The guy at second, and I'm expecting it to be a base hit. Tommy Edmonds right there. I'm Tommy Edmonds.
Where do you think?
Which he did. He did do that. So we'll be watching games 1 and 2. Obviously, Dodger Stadium. New York for games 3, 4, 5. Comes back to LA. I don't have a good feel for the series. I really don't.
I know. It's a long series. Minimum 6.
Yep.
Almost 6. Would like 7. 7 would be pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie about that. 7 would be pretty cool.
When's the last 7 game?
Good question, John. That would have been Nope. Let me guess.
Okay. I mean, it's not long.
No. Was it 2021? No, 2019.
2019. That's right. When
yeah.
the Nats behind Strasburg beat the Astros.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, it's the last 7 game series. There was the 7 game series between the Astros and Dodgers in 2017. Was that Darvish?
Darvish. That was also the trash can.
Yep. There was, I mean, the epic 7 game series in modern baseball history of Indians at the time.
Yes.
It was an epic series with this incredible game 7 with about 40 million Americans.
He came back and won that.
Right? Were the Cubs trailing 3-2 against the Indians?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then that game 7 was unbelievable.
Dude, that was in recent memory one of the most iconic game 7s you can think of. Back and forth. Rajay Davis
came out.
Yeah, you had to stop the game. That actually, I think, helped the Cubs.
Yeah, probably.
To like regroup after giving up that lead there. And
it's actually been, dude, there's been a lot of 7 game World Series. So since 2014, Giants Royals, Cubs Indians, Astros Dodgers, Nats Astros. It's like 4 of the last 10
but
have gone 7
nothing
games.
in the past
5 years.
5 years.
You're right. Yeah.
Because 2020, blah. 2021, no. 2022, no. 23, no. Now we're, this year.
Do you remember the Rangers lost to
the Cardinals?
Oh my gosh.
They were out away, a strike away.
In game 6, right? And game 7?
Yep. And Nelson Cruz. Ball release.
Who was pitching?
On the tip of my tongue. He told me.
Those are for the Rangers?
Yeah.
2011?
He was flamethrower. Neftali Feliz. Yeah. Ball hit to right. Nelson Cruz can't play it right. He was off threes, then hits, I think he gets a triple there, and then he hits the walk-off in game 6. When the Rangers had another lead after a 2-run home run by Josh Hamilton in extras, they couldn't keep that lead. Brutal.
That was brutal. Now they ended up winning one 10 years later. or
Glad
whatever.
they won one last year.
Yeah. I'm just going back up his history. So that it was 2011. Then the last 7-game series, Angels Giants, 2002. Yeah. And then
Giants won 3-2 in that series.
2001. 2001 D-back Yankees.
I think regarded as 21st century's best.
2001. The backdrop, what's going on in the world.
And every
Right.
game in New York was insane. It was like Derek Jeter became Mr. November because they had a World Series going in November. Scott Brocious, I think, a walk off. What was the closer's name for the D-backs that year?
It was Mariano Rivera.
No, D-backs. Him?
Oh. I don't know.
Anyway, gave it up. Games 4 and 5, and then they went back
Young
to
Kim.
young Kim, and then game 6 was a blowout in Arizona,
And then the walk-off in game 10.
and then the walk.
So those are your game 7 this century, and there have been some unbelievable ones. Will we get another? Again, I'm with you. I would definitely take it, but I'll also take a cakewalk Yankees series. I don't think that's happening. I really would be shocked if that happened. The Yankees. I'd be shocked if this was a sweep either way.
I bet you Rob Manfred said, "Can we hit the double like 21s? Can we get
Series
a game 7 Dodgers Yankees?
Yeah, like 50 million.
You get a lot. You get a lot.
All right, on the other side, we'll keep you updated. That game is scoreless at the bottom of the second inning. Game 1 of the World Series plus Jim's Backstage is next. All right, so what if you could be debt-free by this January? Get rid of all that high-interest debt, pay off all your credit cards, consolidate everything into one lower payment. Hey, guys, it's Schaefer. If you're ready to stop stressing over bills, you need to call Loan Pronto right now. With rates at their lowest in 2 years, this is the perfect chance to use your home's equity and save big going into the new year. Loan Pronto has rates with APRs in the low 5s, and they're getting homeowners hundreds of thousands out of their home's equity. Homeowners who do this save on average $850 a month. Huge money. Loan Pronto offers a ton of options, including total refis or their express equity lines of credit. So call now, get a rate quote in just minutes with no hard credit pull and no upfront fees like those other guys. Call today and you won't make a house payment until 2025. LoanPronto.com or 619-207-4336. LoanPronto.com. Free rate quotes at 619-207-4336. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, on approved credit, NMLS consumeraccess.org. All right, tomorrow night, San Diego State, Washington State. Hope to see you guys out there. Homecoming at Snapdragon Stadium tonight. Sean Lewis show. And Rich. Yeah, about 10 or so minutes. Keep an eye on game one of the World Series. Yankees and Dodgers. The Yankees have had every inning.
Got fairly high pitch count already for a couple innings.
What is it?
Right now, 43 pitches.
He's got a leadoff base runner again. So it's cool. And the way this is going to work, Jim, is whoever wins 4 games first is going to win the World Series. I'll tell you what.
Is that breaking news?
Yeah. So the Yankees came to the World Series. They have game one. Yeah. How series go? Say the Yankees win the World Series. Say they win like in 5 or 6, 5 games, like 6. Like, it's going to make it whoever took the Yankees to win. You have plus money. You got, I mean, it's easy money. Now again, a long way to go. We have no idea. I have no really good feel of the series either. Why that? I don't want to do this one pitch. I don't know if this one pitch. It was awful. Go back to it. Am I wrong? I just thought it. Okay. I was right. Okay. Right. Yeah. So Juan Soto, are you kidding me? A pitch 8 inches off the plate. It's supposed to strike Juan Soto. Okay. Good job, baseball. Right. Whoever this guy is.
Have you noticed they don't have pitch track up for the World Series? Almost like they don't want to put any emphasis. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
I thought maybe they just wouldn't put it up there, so if the refs blew a call or something, then they could just
These
be like,
refs are terrible.
"Oh,
Yeah.
you know, zombies."
Who is the umpire? Carlos Torres. Bro, be better.
And none of these guys are. We need automatic balls and strikes.
It's the World Series. Get it right.
Everyone wants to be the next Angel.
Right. All right, let's get to it.
On I guess yesterday.
On yesterday.
On yesterday. We didn't do a back page yesterday. I had this lined up. This was for yesterday, but I'll say it today. Jimmy John's. Shout out Jimmy John's.
Hey, where are you guys?
Hello.
Our names are Jon and Jim.
Jimmy John's, Jon and Jim.
Hey, iHeart.
Hey, somebody back there.
Everyone
Synergy.
get together.
Get together. Huddle up.
Make this work.
Jimmy John's, Jon and Jim. Perfect combination right there. How you doing?
What am I supposed info@jimmyjohns.com? Like, who do I send the email to?
Yeah.
Someone make this happen.
Jim Russell at iHeartMedia.com. John Schaefer at iHeartMedia.com. Let's get this thing done. Let's go.
Should be done.
The restaurant announced.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. The restaurant announced a new sandwich with a twist.
Okay. I'm excited.
The Pickle Witch.
Go on.
It's an innovation that combines their signature sandwiches with their fan favorite Jimmy Pickles.
Jimmy Pickles.
So the Pickle Witch,
They're just big deli pickles.
which now is available to customers nationwide. No, it's available starting October 28th through November 14th.
Okay.
But they announced it yesterday. So October 28th through November 14th, you have an option to get a Pickle Witch. Which is a giant hollowed out kosher dill pickle.
Okay.
With salami, provolone cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, basil, oil, and vinegar, just like their classic sandwiches, except the bun is replaced now by a pickle.
It's incredible. And by incredible, I mean not necessarily up my alley.
Yeah.
No, but we love Jimmy John's.
We love Jimmy. I really like that, actually. That's a really good idea.
Pickle Witch.
That's right.
Pickle Witch is like my favorite thing ever.
Text us. Let's talk.
Can we talk, please? The Pickle Witch.
Right.
So,
Are you guys big pickle people?
I am now.
Here's my thing on the pickle. The pickle. I love me a good kosher pickle.
Okay.
But I do not like pickles on like my burgers or
You just like it on the side.
I just like it by itself.
I do like it on the side. I don't mind
like
it on a
by
burger.
itself. Pickles, amazing. But pickles on like
What
a
about the
sandwich,
chicken sandwich,
or
Chick-fil-A?
a burger or a Chick-fil-A sandwich, like I'm not good with that.
That's gone. No, it's not.
That's not.
The whole thing with fast food pickles is it just depends if they're still like crunchy or if they've just been sitting
No,
in that
crunchy.
tub with pickle juice
Nope,
since
crunchy.
like 8 a.m. Then
Give me the
that's no
crunchy
good.
kosher pickles, please, all day.
Okay.
The entire Pickle Witch is based around a ad for Snooki.
Like the MTV character?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Jimmy John's has partnered with Snooki to promote the Pickle Witch because
What is this, 2004?
I guess she loves pickles, and I think she might have made a pickle sandwich in one of the
like 13 years ago,
like Jersey shows or whatever. Hey, Aaron Judge.
Jack Flaherty's now
Aaron
turned
Judge.
into
freaking Cy Young here.
right.
Aaron Judge, what's going on, bro?
Well, I'll tell you what's going on. It would have been 2 on, nobody out if this umpire could properly call balls and strikes, but instead there was a ground ball double play.
Oh, I'm glad Jason Bateman has become a Dodger fan all of a sudden.
No, he was running Yankee. Was he a Dodger fan?
Yeah, he's always been a Dodger fan.
Soft.
Like Dean.
Yeah, loser. Burger King is giving us 3 new Whoppers on November 14th for a limited time. Here's the twist. The
Colored buns.
No, these new 3 Whoppers are for a contest that I had on the back page a long time ago that the winner will win $1 million. So you can like create your own Whopper.
Okay.
Here are the 3 Whoppers. Burger King's $1 million Whopper contest. The finalist burgers are the Mexican street corn Whopper. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The maple bourbon barbecue Whopper. Or, speaking of pickles, the fried pickle ranch Whopper. Which one of those sounds good to you, Brent?
No,
Second one? The
Yeah.
barbecue one?
Yeah.
I like number 4.
The Mexican street corn Whopper, I'm like, no, can't do it.
What is that? Just a Whopper with street corn?
It's a
dumped
Whopper
on top of it?
So it doesn't, I can't see like what's in it, but I'm looking at the picture. It looks like it's like Mexican street corn, lettuce, tomatoes,
I love tomatoes.
and tomatoes.
Tomatoes.
Obviously, burger with cheese, the Whopper burger with cheese.
Sure.
And then like corn tortilla chips. The maple bourbon barbecue Whopper looks like it has bacon, obviously maple bourbon barbecue sauce.
And that's it. That's right.
Some like fried onions, I think.
Oh, yeah. I figured they'd do
And then the
something like
Whopper with cheese. And then the fried pickle ranch Whopper has ranch,
that. And pickles.
fried pickles, lettuce, bacon, Swiss cheese, it looks like. And then obviously the burger. So yeah. There you go. And finally,
we're out of time.
No, I didn't get it. No, we actually Reese's is coming out with a new red velvet Reese's peanut butter cups are set to be released around Valentine's Day. By the way, MLB on Fox posted Otani's birthday date. Otani came out swinging his first World Series debut. Flyout is the greatest flyout in baseball history. No one flies out like he does. Sean Lewis Show coming up next. Getting ready for homecoming tomorrow night. We'll be with you at 7:30. Pregame coverage at 5:30 tomorrow night for the Aztecs and Washington State. Sean Lewis Show is next. Have a great weekend.